What's up, dummies? Today we're about to react to 4 teenage killers reacting to a life sentence. So we're gonna see some teenagers who ended up killing people and their reactions to being sent to life in prison. This is gonna be insane. Teenagers killing.
This is Mackenzie Shirilla. She's a 17-year-old who was found guilty of murder for causing a car crash that killed her boyfriend and his friend.
Oh my gosh, look at that car, bruh. Oh my god, this is her
And
reaction.
he decided death was the ultimate goal that day. This was not reckless driving. This was murder.
Shirilla's boyfriend, Dominic Russo, and his friend, Davian Flanagan, were in the car when she crashed into the side of a commercial building outside of Cleveland.
Did she mean to crash into it, or?
Going 100 miles per hour.
Okay.
Both men were pronounced dead at the scene, and Shirilla survived. Prosecutors argued that the teen had a toxic relationship, and Shirilla had made violent threats against her boyfriend.
Bro, she's like 17. Okay, let's see her reaction.
His property. She tried to break into his house.
Correct.
Reportedly, she crashed her car on purpose because she wanted to kill her boyfriend, and that his
What?
friend was just collateral damage. The prosecutor said the intent was obvious upon seeing that video, that there was only one goal.
You see her driving very calmly and making the right turn, and then all evidence indicates she immediately put the pedal to the metal and drove straight into a building at 100 miles per hour. I think those really demonstrated to us that this was no accident.
And a few days before the crash, she allegedly took the same route to plot the crime. This is where the judge now finds her guilty.
Count 1. Finds the defendant, Mackenzie Shirilla, guilty of murder. To wit, Dominic Russo.
She now stands up to be placed in handcuffs as she continues to tear up.
Count 2. Finds the defendant, Mackenzie Shirilla, guilty of murder. To wit, Davian Flanagan.
Shirilla now has a moment to speak before her sentencing.
The families of Dom and Davia, I'm so deeply sorry. I hope one day you can see I would never let this happen or do it on purpose. I wish I could remember what happened. I'm just so sorry. I'm heartbroken.
There was no medical condition that caused this as an accident. There was no mechanical failure of the car. A failed suicide attempt is not a defense to murder. There's a very good likelihood, Mackenzie, that you will spend the rest of your life in prison. She's sentenced on count 1, 15 years to life. Count 2, 15 years to life, to be served concurrent to each other.
The judge just sentenced her to 15 years to life in prison.
Wow.
This is Aiden Fucci, who
Okay,
pled
this is the next
guilty
one.
in court for the murder of his classmate when he was only 14 years old.
What? Oh my gosh, bro.
Having fun in a cop car.
Yep.
Fucci was classmates with a 13-year-old girl from Patriot Oaks Academy in St. Johns County, Florida. Fucci stabbed her 114 times. Her dead body was later recovered from the woods. After Fucci was arrested, he can be seen in the back of the cop car taking Snapchats. Now this video shows Fucci and his parents in the interrogation room.
The Snapchat that you did, those numbers,
Like it's all over, you're all over the internet, Igor. This is serious.
it's very serious.
This is no joke. This is your
this is
whole
his
life. Your
parents.
whole life.
And hers.
And ours.
A video from prosecutors showed Fucci and the girl allegedly walking together right before she was murdered. Then about 90 minutes later, the video shows Fucci allegedly running away from the area where the body was found.
114 stab wounds, 49 defensive wounds, 35 wounds to the head and neck, 29 to the back and shoulder, and
He doesn't
6
even-
fatal wounds.
He doesn't even look like he cares, bro.
After Fucci pled guilty to first-degree murder, the judge now hands down his sentence.
Having entered a plea of guilty to the crime of first-degree murder, I sentence you to life in prison. Because of your age, you are eligible for review of the sentence in 25 years.
Wow. 25 years and then he gets to review his sentence, but he's sentenced to
After
life.
Fucci was sentenced, he stood still with a little movement.
Yeah, he didn't even react, bro. Okay, here's the next one. This is kind of interesting seeing how that first girl, she reacted. She was like, no. But then this guy was just like, I don't care. Like, wow.
This is Willard Miller and
Willard
Jeremy
Miller.
Goodale. And at just 16 years old, they are both charged for the murder of their high school Spanish teacher.
What? Why would you kill your Spanish teacher? I mean, I hate Spanish. I never want to learn Spanish, but this is crazy.
Reportedly, it was over a bad grade.
We then
Over a bad grade.
moved her
off of the trail, where I then struck her, and she died as a result.
Miller and Gooddale went to Fairfield High School in southeastern Iowa. Nohema Graber was the Spanish teacher at the school, and Miller was one of her students. After he received a bad grade from Graber, he and his friend Gooddale planned to kill her.
Why did this guy even help him? The other guy got the bad grade. It's like, oh, dang. I just got to, I'm going to call my friend. Oh, dang. I just got an F on this test, bro. Will you help me kill the teacher? What? This is insane.
I'll stand up here, look out, wait for Miss Graber to show up.
Graber went for her usual walk at Chautauqua City Park. The boys knew that as they stalked her and they waited to ambush her.
Here she comes, and she walked by, hit her in the back of the head, and then I said, "Oh shit, make sure she's dead." So we hit her a couple more times.
They then dragged her into the woods and beat her to death with a baseball bat.
Bro.
After that, there wasn't really a plan beyond that. Like hide the body, bury the body, save the body. At that time, we were going to hide the body. I guess in our arrogance, we kind of assumed that nobody would ever find her.
Not long after, both boys were arrested. Court documents allege that the witness who knew Gooddale showed law enforcement Snapchat messages that showed Gooddale and Miller's involvement in the murder. One of the Snapchat messages saying, "Point of view, you're my Spanish teacher, and this is the last thing you see," followed by "Time to hide a body."
What?
Jeremy Gooddale would later plead guilty and testify against his best friend Miller.
I understood that he had the intent to kill Mrs. Graber.
What is your plea to murder in the first degree, guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
This is the moment that Gooddale gets to speak before his sentence.
I've had time to think on what to say, and I'm sorry, truly sorry. Every day I wish I could go back and stop myself. I can't comprehend losing a loved one in such an awful way.
And now the judge hands down his sentence.
The defendants shall be sentenced to life with the possibility of parole after 25 years.
Now for Miller. This is him apologizing before he receives his sentence.
I would like to take this opportunity to wholeheartedly accept responsibility for the role that I've played.
He does not
in the
care.
murder of Nohema Graber. To the family, I'm sincerely sorry for the distress that I've caused you and the devastation. And I ask that I'm given a chance, and I don't want to be institutionalized. I don't want to be in so long that I forget about what matters, where I come from, and I look forward to getting through this.
And now
I look forward to getting through that. You're just not. I mean, you killed
the
someone.
judge has some final last words.
The defendant, Willard Noble Chaden Miller, should be sentenced to life with the possibility of parole after 35 years.
Miller seems to be completely unfazed.
Wow. He didn't care.
This is Rachel Shoaf and Sheila Eddy, who are both in court today for the murder of their friend when they were only 16 years.
Bro, 16. Like, that's when you get your driver's license and you're already doing stuff like this, bro.
Their scheme was to hide knives on their bodies and to attack Skylar at an agreed upon moment.
In Star City, West Virginia, Shoaf and Eddy were friends with 16-year-old Skylar Neese.
So this is the girl that passed away. Man, this is crazy, bro. They seem like normal girls, you know? Like, they just, these are the girls you would see when you go to Target and they're over here buying makeup and stuff.
Reportedly, Shoaf and Eddy decided they didn't like Neese anymore, so they planned to kill her.
Bro, what? You don't like your friend anymore, so you're just... Bro, just stop hanging out with them, bro. There's been plenty of friends that I had, and then I realized, like, maybe they're not the best friends, and I just stopped hanging out with them. What?
Sheila Eddy and Rachel Shoaf carried out that plan. Together they stabbed and killed Skylar.
After Shoaf's confession, both teens were arrested. Shoaf agreed to plead guilty to second-degree murder in exchange for her cooperation in the case.
I'm so sorry. I don't know if there's a proper way to make this apology because there are not even words to describe the guilt.
I mean, yeah, how do you, like, because they're always given a chance to talk to the family, like, of the people that they killed. What are you gonna say? Like, you can't really say anything to make the family feel better. They literally lost their family.
The remorse that I feel each day for what I've done. I hurt the Neese family and those who love Skylar. I hurt my parents and shamed my family. May God bring eternal peace to Skylar and the entire Neese family.
After securing a plea deal, the judge now gives Shoaf her sentence.
Rachel Shoaf, it is the sentence of the court that you be imprisoned in the West Virginia State Penitentiary for a period of 30 years.
But she will have the possibility of parole in 10 years.
Bro, why are they going easy on the girls? 30 years and you can have parole in 10 years. But those guys pretty much did the same thing. And they got, I mean, I'm not trying to, you know, support these killers because they, I mean, they all deserve to just, you know, learn and, you know, become, you know, better people. But what?
It is the sentence of the court that you've been imprisoned in the West Virginia State Penitentiary for the rest of your natural life.
Wow,
that
this
sentence
girl
is technically with mercy, which makes you eligible for parole after you have served 15 years.
This girl got life in prison. That's freaking crazy, bro. What's up, dummies? We're about to react to the craziest convicts reacting to a life sentence. Look at this guy. He has to wear a mask because he's so dangerous. I think he like bites people or something. This lady's absolutely crying. This is gonna be insane. They're gonna be reacting to getting life in prison. Let's go.
Jaleel Smith Riley in a Cincinnati, Ohio courtroom, who police say confessed to a robbery killing a 20-year-old woman and seriously wounding her boyfriend. Portia Brooks was in her car with her boyfriend Aaron Martin when Smith Riley came up to her car with two others looking to rob them. When Smith Riley found out Martin didn't have any cash, he was shot in the head, leaving him with permanent brain damage. Smith Riley then shot at Brooks, which killed her 3 days later.
Oh my gosh.
Go back on. This is what I come up with. This is somebody that feels genuine remorse. This is somebody that thinks about this every day, and he knows that he can't go back in time and undo what he did.
Now, Portia Brooks' mother delivers a victim impact statement.
But he killed me mentally, emotionally. He killed my identity as a mother of 3, as a family of 4.
This is now Brooks' sister speaking.
I have to deal with life without Portia, so he should deal with life without parole.
This is moments right before Jaleel Smith Riley gets the news that he will never be allowed to return home again.
Defendant serve a term of life without parole as to count 4 for the offense of attempted murder.
I mean, like, I can't really feel bad for him, but like, it does suck. Like, I could tell that he was kind of sad. Most of the time you can tell if somebody's like sad they got caught, but it kind of seemed like he was sad. But I mean, if you murder people, bro, you gotta go to jail, bro. If you kill someone, you don't deserve to really be out. So let's go to the next one.
Diana Lovejoy. She used to be married to Greg Mulvihill living in Carlsbad, California, but soon their marriage fell apart and they divorced. After a messy divorce and lots of legal trouble, it ended with the court ordering Diana to pay $120,000 to Greg for his stake in their family house. The court also ordered that she must share custody of their son. Diana became furious about hearing the court orders, so she planned to kill her ex-husband by teaming up with her boyfriend, Weldon McDavid. Greg was shot in the torso, but luckily the bullet didn't hit his heart and he survived.
Wow, so she planned to kill him. She hired her boyfriend to kill him. He ended up surviving, and then now he's testifying against her. Oh.
Both McDavid and Diana conspired to murder, and the court has sufficient evidence against them.
It's so painful that some people in this world seem to think that I would have it in me to do this.
Interestingly, she fainted in court. She lowered her head down toward the defense table for a few seconds.
Verdict. We, the jury, find the defendant, Diana Jean Lovejoy, guilty of the crime of attempted murder of Greg Mulvihill.
And right when you hear guilty, you hear a thud.
Guilty of the crime of conspiracy to commit murder.
It silenced the courtroom, aside from hearing her family cry in the background.
Wow. I think she's lying.
She then is brought onto the floor.
She's lying.
And when medics bring her out, she still appears to be passed out. But doctors later found out she had only fainted. Weldon McDavid received 50 years to life in prison because he was the one that pulled the trigger. And Diana was sentenced to 26 years to life in prison.
Wow.
This is Seth Welch and Tatiana Fusari.
Seth Welch and Tatiana Fusari. This is like a boyfriend and girlfriend who are about to get life in prison.
A religious farming couple living in Cedar Springs, Michigan, and they are charged with murder of their 10-month-old girl, Mary Welch.
What, bro? Murdering their 10-month-old? Nah, bro. Y'all gotta go to jail for 3, 4, 5, 6 life sentences.
They told police they noticed the baby was skinny and underweight, but did not seek medical attention because of their religious beliefs and mistrust of medicine and the government. This is the 911 call of the father when he reportedly found his child dead.
How long ago did you find this child?
It's about an hour and a half. I was waiting
What?
You know, what's the next thing I could do?
So you found the child an hour and a half ago?
Yeah.
And called your lawyer first, correct?
Yeah.
That is the dumbest. Like, what? Were you not taught? You found your child dead and you called your lawyer for an hour and a half and then you decide to call 911. What? That's enough.
When was the last time you had contact with a child?
Last night, yesterday afternoon, about 3 p.m. You know, she goes to bed. And,
At 3 p.m.?
You know, that was that.
What?
Okay, so you put her to bed yesterday at 3 p.m.?
Yeah, and then this morning at like 10.
So you're saying it's normal for your children to sleep?
Yeah, you put the baby to bed at 3 p.m. and then you woke up the baby at 10 a.m.? That means that baby went 12 plus 7. 19 hours? 19 hours with no water, no food, just sleeping? No.
Around 3 p.m. till 10 a.m.?
You know, usually about 9:30.
That's 19 hours.
And you said when you found her, she was already believed to be deceased, right?
Yes.
No wonder. I mean, the baby hadn't had no water for...
And that's when you consulted with a lawyer?
Yep.
Do you believe she was beyond help already?
Oh, yeah, she was dead as a doormat.
Oh my God, he just said she was dead as a doornail. Yeah, they're like, if your daughter or if I had a daughter or a son and they died, like, I don't even want to say this because I'm putting it in the universe, but like, I would obviously be sad. Everyone would be sad. Super sad. He's just like, yep, dead as a doornail. Like,
Soon after, the autopsy revealed that the cause of death was malnutrition and dehydration due to neglect
Makes
by
sense.
the adult caregivers. And this is the moment they realize they will be spending the rest of their life behind bars.
That you're both charged with what they call felony murder while in the perpetration or attempted perpetration of child abuse in the first degree. They're alleging that you murdered one Mary Welch. That is a charge called homicide felony murder. It is life without parole.
Wow.
It requires
Oh my
a
God, look at
DNA
him.
sample to be taken upon arrest, which is often
Wow,
like
he's
a cotton
shocked.
swab or in the inside of your cheek.
Wow.
The second offense that you're both charged with is called child abuse in the first degree, where they're alleging you knowingly or intentionally caused serious
He's still
physical harm to a
shocked.
child. They're talking about this Mary Welch. It is a felony, possible penalty of up to life imprisonment or any term of years less than life.
Wow, bro. I mean, I feel like these people are very unaware. Maybe they weren't taught correctly because he was like, yep, oh yeah, she sleeps for 19 hours. Like, maybe he was just like not taught right, but still, you gotta be smarter than that, bro. 19 hours without water?
This is Ryan Stone, a Colorado man that went on a crime spree that spanned 5 counties and was broadcasted live by a news station's helicopter. Stone was convicted of carjacking 3
Oh my
vehicles,
gosh.
including one with a 4-year-old.
This is GTA 5, by the way, YouTube. It's
inside
fine.
the SUV. Authorities said when Stone sped away, he led police on a chase at speeds over 100 miles per hour. If we rewind
Wow.
here, you can just barely see a vehicle that Stone was driving clipping a trooper with the Colorado State Patrol as he was trying to play stop sticks. He ended up with serious injuries. You see Stone pull out another victim from their vehicle and drive off. He heads right into a busy intersection. And now, the chase is on foot. He books it off the road into a parking lot, running in between 2 buildings. As he slips on the ice, he loses his jacket. Now there's just a fence in his way, but nope, it's too high. Cops now close in and he finally surrenders. Stone is now in the county jail, but he believes he should be getting paid for his internet fame while bragging to his friends about the high-speed chase.
What?
Hey, did you know I made the news in the UK and Australia? What? Yeah, you get paid by YouTube. So, Channel 7 News, I believe, is going to be the one that gets paid for that. Well, I'm going to contact Channel 7 News. I want to get paid. You guys are getting paid using my name and my video
What?
footage
During his opportunity to address the court about the recordings in jail, Stone blames it on emotional stress and the use of drugs.
We are going through trial after that. It was a week and a half trial. Extremely stressful. One of the phone calls about seeming like I was bragging about making international news, this, that, and the other. That was within the first week of being arrested. I was still coming off of drugs.
Stone was convicted of 18 charges, including attempted manslaughter, child abuse, and assault. Then, the judge sentenced him to 160 years in prison. This is Esteban Carpio.
Oh, we gotta see this. This is the guy from the
police were questioning him for the stabbing of an 85-year-old woman in Rhode Island. In the interview room was Carpio and 2 detectives. One of the detectives left the room to get water for Carpio, leaving just him and Detective Sergeant James Allen in the room.
Did he bite him and that's why he has to...
Carpio grabbed Allen's gun and then shot him twice, killing him. He then jumped out of a window which was 3 stories high and made a run for it, but was apprehended just 45 minutes later. At his arraignment, Carpio came in wearing a mask designed to stop the offender from spitting and biting at others.
Bro, he's a spitter and a biter? What is wrong?
With also his face being in rough shape, it stunned the courtroom.
Yeah, his face was all beat up because he jumped out of a 3-story window. You saw that broken glass? He busted through the glass. Wow, this is actually one of the craziest videos I've ever read.
It wasn't so much Carpio with the shocking reaction, more so his family members, making accusations of police brutality.
Wow.
Step off, step off.
It's police brutality. He was mentally ill and he needed help and we couldn't get it. We tried and tried. And he didn't deserve this.
An FBI investigation concluded that the police did not use excessive force and that Carpio's injuries were sustained due to his jump from the 3rd floor of a building and struggle with law enforcement.
Every day I face the facts of what I did and what happened.
He was sentenced to life in prison without parole.
Wow. His mom or his sister was saying like, oh, we tried to get mental health for him and you guys didn't help us, like he's mentally ill. Maybe he was actually mentally ill. I don't know. I'm not going to make any judgments, but this is insane. And that is a creepy looking face with the mask on. Wow. What's up, dummies? We're about to react to 5 most brutal killers reacting to getting a death sentence. So look at these people. These are people who literally like murdered someone. They're literally brutal. This guy looks like he's got 40,000 tattoos on his face. He's got a damn scar on his chin like he got bit by a shark or somebody's cat scratched him or something. We're gonna react to these brutal people reacting to getting a death sentence in court. This is gonna be insane. All right, let's go.
This is Austin Myers and Timothy Mosley. They were both convicted of murdering 18-year-old Justin Back in Waynesville, Ohio.
Okay, hold on. This guy's last name is what?
18-year-old Justin Back.
Justin Back? This guy's last name is Back? I've never heard of somebody have the last name Back. That is insane. But anyway, these 2 people don't even look like brutal killers. The video's supposed to be brutal killers. This guy looks like someone I saw at like Foot Locker 3 years ago. Apparently they murdered someone, so let's see their reactions to getting sent to death in prison.
In Waynesville, Ohio, the 2 men, Myers and Mosley, went to Back's house in an attempt to rob a safe that belonged to his father. During the robbery, Back was strangled with a choke wire.
The idea of strangling them, that way it would create no mess. Pretty much be an easier job to...
Okay, he sounds like he didn't even go through 7th grade English, so I mean, it makes sense.
Handle. Obviously, Justin was trying to put up a fight, and he wasn't overpowering us.
He wasn't overpowering. Bro, who taught this guy how to speak, bro?
Back was then stabbed 21 times until he died.
Justin was trying to ask us why. He was pleading to stop and pretty much begging for his life.
On trial, Mosley testified against Myers to obtain a plea bargain, where he pled guilty and was sentenced to life in prison. Finally, for Myers, he takes the stand in front of the jury, asking them to spare his life for his family. And
okay, so the guy who was talking, the guy that was like, oh, he didn't know how to speak, whatever, he got sentenced to life in prison, but his friend who did all the bad stuff is about to get sentenced to death.
Hopes of avoiding the death sentence.
If you choose for me to die, it's only going to cause more pain and suffering for another family, not me. It won't hurt me. I won't feel anything. It's gonna hurt more innocent people.
This sounds so cringy, bro. That's like them kids in them TikTok comment section saying, oh, I feel no pain. I never felt pain in my life. I don't feel pain. Shut up, bro.
This is now the father of Justin Back speaking.
Wow, this is the father of the guy who died. Oh, this is sad.
I'm not gonna stand up here
and tell you how much I hate you. That is without question. I would just hope that every time you close your eyes at night, you see my son, Justin.
After the jury recommended
That's
the
nice.
death sentence, this is Myers' last chance to plead for his life in front of the judge.
I think there's a lot of good things I can do with my life if you allow me to keep my life.
And the judge doesn't buy it. He hands down the maximum sentence.
The defendant does not understand how precious life is. Therefore, the sentence of death shall be imposed upon Austin Gregory Myers on
Wow.
the charge of aggravated murder.
Nothing but a slight nod. At just 19 years old, this made Myers the youngest Ohio individual to be put on death row. He is currently awaiting his execution at Chillicothe Correctional Institution.
So he hasn't been put to death yet or whatever. Wow.
So many lives destroyed by this, and it was just for nothing. I mean, there was no money in the safe. There was nothing in there.
Bro, there was no money in the safe that they were trying to rob? Ah. All right, here's the next one.
This is Nico Jenkins.
Oh my God, it's the guy from the thumbnail. Bro, it's the guy from the thumbnail, and he's walking into court just like, ha ha. Bro, he doesn't care at all.
Who was convicted on 4 counts of murder when he went on a
4?
killing spree in the span of 10 days. In
Bro killed 4 people. Who's he talking
Omaha,
to?
Nebraska. At 15 years old, Jenkins was sent to a youth correctional
That's the worst picture of him ever. They couldn't have got a better picture.
facility and served a 10-year sentence in prison for carjacking and assault.
So he spent 10 years in prison when he was a kid for carjacking somebody and assaulting. Bro didn't even have his license and he was carjacking. Bro, this is not GTA 6,
A
buddy.
month after his release, Jenkins shot and killed 2 individuals in a robbery. 8 days
What?
later, his next victim was a former inmate he originally met in prison. He was shot and killed in his own garage. 2 days
What?
after that, Jenkins killed his 4th victim in a carjacking. Jenkins was
What?
arrested for unrelated charges, but it was here that cops were able to pin the ammo used in one of the killings to Jenkins.
Bro, so he basically murdered a ton of people and he looks like he's literally insane. This is gonna be crazy, bro.
Do you not realize I got Nico Jenkins? Do you not realize that? I got Nico Jenkins. I got you. What do you mean you got me? I got your DNA at the murder scene. I got your DNA in the car. Sir. I got the
Why was his DNA in the car? What was he doing?
weapon. I got Nico Jenkins.
Jenkins pleaded.
Wow, that cop was so hyped that he captured this freaking guy. I mean, yeah, if there's a wanted killer on the loose and nobody knows where he is, and then you're the one to catch him, that's pretty dope. You probably get a raise. You probably get, moved up the ranks. Let's see
No
this.
contest to 4 counts of first-degree murder.
guy looks
he also
crazy.
waived his right to a jury trial, meaning a 3-judge panel will decide if he is innocent or guilty.
Bro, look at that face, bro. He's got like marks all over, a bump, like he's got a cyst inside of his head. I know that hurts every day when he wakes up.
Each one
Jeez.
of these murders was a deliberate and planned act. The victims were pre-selected and the murders were purposeful.
After Jenkins is found guilty of all 4 murders, he sits still with little movement. And now comes his sentence.
Therefore, this panel finds that the death penalty is appropriate, should be, and is hereby given for each of the 4 murders by the defendant.
As Jenkins is sentenced to death, he seems to be completely unfazed. He is currently incarcerated at the Nebraska State Penitentiary awaiting his death sentence.
Bro, so he's still waiting to be put to, bro, why do they like put people on death row and then they just don't do anything? Like, can't you just take them outside and, give them some poison? I don't know. Here's the next one.
This is Martez Abram, who is
Martez
convicted on
Abram.
2 counts of murder for the killings of 2 Walmart employees.
What? Bro went to Walmart and killed 2. Bro, they must have gave him the wrong bananas or something, bro.
In
What?
South Haven, Mississippi. Abram had worked at the Walmart but was faced with
He worked there? Oh my God. He must have, they must have forgot to pay him or something.
the suspension after he apparently had a knife on him in the store. The day he was suspended, he returned to the store with multiple weapons and
Oh my
opened
gosh.
fire, killing store managers Anthony Brown and Brandon Gales.
Man, rest in peace to Anthony Brown and Anthony, whatever they said. Dang.
On the ground with his eyes open. And I ran up to him and I looked at him. I said, Anthony, honey, please say KC one more time.
He also shot an officer who survived due to his bulletproof vest.
Once I got out of my vehicle, I heard gunshots and I felt the pressure of the bullet hit my back.
Wow, this was one of the cops that he was trying to shoot at and it hit the bulletproof vest. Bro, this guy needs to be sent to forever to jail.
He was
bro.
arrested on site. Now in court, Abram admits to all crimes.
That's you, isn't it, sir?
Yes.
Look at it, please.
What
sir.
the?
Yes.
What the?
Mr. Gale,
is on the floor going down at this point, isn't he? Yes. Okay, and that's you shooting him, right? Yes.
Bro, I'm not gonna say I feel bad for him because he did a bad thing, but I feel like he did not he probably just wasn't thinking when he did this, bro. I expected him to be like, yeah, I killed him. But he's just like kind of scared. I don't feel bad for him, but y'all know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like he was just probably having a horrible day.
Look at the screen, sir. Yes. That's you shooting him? Yes. Can you admit that you shot him in cold blood? Yes. You shot him again, didn't you? Yes. After that, you went back to the toilet paper aisle, didn't you?
Bro went to the toilet paper. What did he try to do? Go make a toilet paper for it? Bro, they gonna find you, bro. When I was a kid, man, I used to go to Walmart. I would hide in the toilet paper or the paper towel aisle, bro. Me and my friends would block it out, and then when people would come by, you know, we would make random noises, and they'd be like, where's that come from? And one time I remember they took the toilet paper that was literally blocking right in front of my face. They took that and put it in their cart, and I was just like, hi. And they were like, bro, what is this little kid doing? This guy really shot a bunch of people in Walmart and then thought he could hide in the toilet paper. That is insane. No wonder he's tweaking. He probably didn't have enough time to wipe. That's why he was going to get toilet paper. That's why he's tweaking right now. He's in court with poop all in his...
Yes.
This is one of the victim's wife delivering a victim impact statement.
This is crazy.
He took Anthony from me on the exact day, 20 years earlier, that we had our first date.
Dang, oh my gosh, they had their first date, and 20 years later on that same day, he got...
Now, this is when the judge will decide Abram's fate.
In count 1, I will sentence you to death. Count 2, you will be sentenced to death. In count 3, you will be sentenced to life in the penitentiary.
As Abram hears that he will be receiving the death penalty, he stands silently, where he now sits on death row awaiting his execution.
So he's awaiting execution as well. So all these people so far have been awaiting, but let's go to the next one.
This is Markeith Lloyd.
Oh, nah. Did you see that? Bro is smiling with an eye patch. Yo, this is gonna be the most brutal killer
who was convicted of murdering a police officer in Orlando, Florida.
I'm facing a relationship for somebody I have absolutely don't know nothing about. And they framed me.
Lloyd was already on the run from the police after he killed his former girlfriend, who...
Bro, he just said, they framed me. And then they just said that he killed his girlfriend. Bro, how many people did you kill? How are they gonna frame you for multiple? Okay, let's just see. I'm not gonna judge him because maybe he did get framed. Let's see what the evidence is.
Pregnant with his child.
Oh my, his girlfriend was pregnant with his child. Bro did not care.
A month later, Lloyd is spotted in a Walmart. You can see him walking in. Moments later, Orlando Police Lieutenant Deborah Clayton pulls in. You can see her grab a cart and walk in. Reportedly, they cross paths every few minutes. Outside the store, Lieutenant Clayton was notified, and she tried to stop and arrest Lloyd when a shootout begun. Lieutenant Clayton was killed during the interaction, being shot 4 times.
So this cop went to, she was just on duty, but she needed to go to the Walmart. She got some stuff, but she saw this wanted criminal, and she's like, wait. And then one of her supervisors was like, hey, you know, that criminal guy, the Markeith Lloyd or whatever his name is, he's in that Walmart with you. So she tries to get him, and then he shoots.
In the murder, Lloyd took off again, which led to a 9-day manhunt, where he was later found. During the arrest,
bro, what was bro doing? Bro was laying down under the garage, bro. They could have
found. During the arrest, he tried to escape, where he lost his left eye in the altercation. Here in court, Lloyd took the stand. Reportedly, he believed everyone was out to kill him.
And I was just reacting, Mary. I was just reacting. Even when they opened the door, I just reacted. I fired 2 shots, I just reacted.
The jury then found him guilty.
It really hurts deep down inside.
This is Lieutenant Clayton's sister giving a victim impact statement.
She stood in the place as my mother when I didn't have one. I truly miss my sister. I truly miss her.
And this is the moment that Lloyd hears that the jury unanimously recommends the death sentence.
We, the jury, unanimously find that the defendant, Markeith Lloyd, should be sentenced to death.
Lloyd seems to mouth something out to the public. A few moments later, Lloyd has an outburst.
You've been trying to kill me. People try to frame me for murder.
All right, why don't we remove Mr. Lloyd from the courtroom?
The judge later agreed with the jury and sent Lloyd to death, where he now sits behind bars waiting for his death sentence.
So he's waiting to be put to death. So all these people are still waiting. Like, I don't know how to feel about this, but dude, these people are creepy, bro. What's up, dummies? So a couple of weeks ago, I made a video looking at some guilty teenage killers reacting to getting life sentences in prison. And today we have another another video of one of those. We're about to react to 5 guilty teenagers reacting to being sent to life in prison. Look at these people crying, bro. I don't know what crimes they did, but they deserve this. Let's react to some guilty teenagers. Let's go. All right.
This is Jennifer Mee.
This is
Pinellas
Jennifer
County
Mee.
Justice Center. At 19 years old, she was arrested on charges of first-degree murder. But this wasn't the first time Mee grabbed the public's attention. When she was 15 years old, she gained international fame when she developed a case of uncontrollable hiccups. She was initially known as the Hiccup Girl.
Wait, what? She had uncontrollable hiccups? She's lying. She made that up, bro. She just wanted fame. Let's see what she did to get her in prison.
But that all ended when her hiccups were cured and the media had no more interest in her until she was arrested. Mee was accused of setting up a robbery with victims she had met online. She had reportedly recruited Lamont Newton, her boyfriend at the time, and another friend, LaRon Rayford, to help rob victims.
Am I tripping, or do they look like they're 40 years old? This girl was 19. What are you doing, Jennifer?
Mee met up with a 22-year-old man she encountered online. She lured the man to a vacant home, and her 2 friends robbed and shot the man, which killed him. They got $50 for the robbery and murder. Mee and Rayford
She gave them $50 to kill.
And Newton all lived together and were arrested within hours of the crime. When Mee had first gone arrested, she was in jail and she had a phone call with her mother where she admitted to her involvement, and the conversation ended up being recorded.
This call may be recorded or monitored. I have a free call from
Jennifer Mee,
an inmate at Pinellas County Jail.
They caught her on the
I got
phone.
charged for murder in the first degree. Charged for murder in the first degree?
That's her talking to her dad on the phone. She didn't know that they were recording this. Ooh, this is gonna be juicy.
What charges did you go? I didn't do nothing. I was just there at the wrong time, at the wrong place. Hello? Hi, Mama. Hello, Jennifer. What's going on? I'm in jail. Why are you in jail? From murder in the first degree. Who'd you kill? I didn't kill nobody. Because I set everything up. It all went wrong, Mama.
The jury returned a guilty verdict, and Mee was found guilty of first-degree murder.
We, the jury, found the defendant is guilty of murder in the first degree.
Oh my God,
as
it's her
charged.
reaction.
And now the judge will hand down the sentence.
Why don't you go to the podium, please?
Let's see what she
The
gets.
jury having found you guilty of murder in the first degree, Miss Mee, I will adjudicate you guilty and sentence you to life in prison without parole.
Oh my gosh. Life in
you
prison.
You have 30 days to appeal. Yeah, okay?
Her co-defendants, Rayford and Newton, were also convicted of first-degree felony murder and were sentenced to life in prison.
Wow, that's insane. She was only 19. All right, let's go to the next one.
This is Dylan Shoemaker.
Dylan
in a Buffalo,
Shoemaker.
New York courthouse. He's at his sentencing after being convicted of second-degree murder. At age 16, Shoemaker was babysitting his girlfriend's child when she went to work that evening. He was inside a Springville home that he shared with his parents. Later that evening, Shoemaker beat the 23-month-old child.
What? The child he was babysitting was 23 months old. He ended up, oh my gosh, bro, you gotta pay attention to who's babysitting your kids, bro. I had a couple of cool babysitters as a kid, but I remember I had one that like I was kind of just worried, like I didn't really like that person. But yeah, like it matters who babysits your kids. This guy I gotta find out what actually happened here.
As a result of his injuries, that young child died.
Oh.
Dylan Shoemaker would later be arrested and charged with the murder of the toddler along with child abuse charges.
Mind your own business.
Shoemaker was reportedly trying to get the child to stop crying.
Oh my God, he was trying to...
And he never wanted to hurt the child or for him to die.
He was trying to get the baby to stop crying. I mean, he's 16 years old. Most 16-year-olds don't know how to handle like a baby, you know? Babies are gonna cry when they're hungry, when they're, you know, they stub their toe, you know, things like that. Babies cry because they can't communicate. He just wanted the baby to stop crying, and
But the jurors didn't buy it, and Shoemaker was convicted of second-degree murder. Now, watch closely as Shoemaker enters the courtroom. Before he could even get set up behind the defense table, he starts crying and telling everyone how sorry he is.
I didn't mean to kill Austin. Actually, I really didn't. I really think I did that. I didn't mean to hurt him.
When Shoemaker was awaiting his trial, he had a phone call with his mother, and the conversation ended up being recorded.
Oh my God, they recorded his conversation too. Maybe he was like, yeah, that baby was annoying. I punched it, you know, or maybe he was, let's see what's in
to the judge on what Shoemaker said to his mother.
In a phone call to your mother from the holding center, you stated, and I got a quote from the court reporter, I am a 16-year-old blonde. Probably all I have to do is cry in front of the jury, and they're going to feel sorry for me.
He said that? He said, I'm a 16-year-old blonde kid and all I have to do is cry and they'll feel bad for me. Oh my gosh.
I can't take back what was done. I wish I could. I would give my life for Austin.
Shoemaker was later sentenced to the maximum punishment.
That you be sentenced to an indeterminate term of imprisonment, which will have a maximum of life. The court hereby imposes a minimum sentence of 25 years.
But that sentence was later modified to 18 years to life.
Only 18 years to life?
This is Brandon Spencer.
Okay, Brandon Spencer. This is a very viral photo. I've seen this photo a lot. So let's see what he did.
Los Angeles County Superior Court. He was charged with 4 counts of attempted murder.
4 counts of attempted. He tried to kill 4 people? Yeah, you gotta go, bro. You gotta get out of here.
Sorry for what happened to your uncle, but he's life in prison.
On a Halloween night, 19-year-old Spencer attended a crowded party on the University of Southern California campus in Los Angeles. Suddenly, gunshots went off, and it was mayhem. Everyone—
Bro, this dude went to a Halloween party. He probably got spooked by someone in a ghost costume, bro. Ghostbusters! Ah!
Everyone scattered. Some ran in fear, and others hid. Reportedly, Spencer also ran, but he was stopped in a parking lot half a mile away, where he got picked up by the LAPD for questioning. A couple days later, he was charged with 4 counts of attempted murder. 4 people were injured, but fortunately, no one died.
That's good.
If you are so intent on killing someone that you're willing to shoot them and at the same time open fire into a crowd.
Right.
Prosecutors argued during the trial the shooting was a result of a feud between Spencer and a rival gang member, and that he was a documented, well-known gang member himself.
Okay, I mean, yeah, if you're in a gang, bro, you gotta go to jail, bro, because they just do bad
I'm
stuff.
not a bad person, but I made mistakes. But I'm not just some gangbanger that you tried to portray me as.
Spencer maintained his innocence throughout the trial, but the jury didn't agree. Nearly 50 family members and friends packed the courtroom. As the judge read the—
Wow, I didn't even think about that. All your family members, your aunts, your uncles, your grandpa, your grandma, your mom, your dad, your sister, your brother, your cousin, everyone's in there watching this. Wow, I bet that was just, there's a lot of energy.
Sentence, sheriff deputies had to restrain Spencer as he banged his head on the defense table.
Really?
Section 12022.53D, this is to be concurrent.
Reportedly, Brandon was sentenced to 40 years to life for 4 counts of attempted murder.
Wow.
This is Martise Fuller in Kenosha County, Wisconsin. On trial, he's accused of killing his ex-girlfriend and attempting to kill her mother.
Wait, what? Okay, yeah, you gotta go to jail for life, bro.
Reportedly, 15-year-old Martise Fuller broke into his ex-girlfriend's house armed with a handgun. When his ex-girlfriend was listening to music in her bedroom, she was shot and killed. After hearing gunshots, the mother emerged from her bedroom and came face to face with the shooter, and she was shot twice. The mother would survive the shooting and identify Martise Fuller to the police.
Wow, the mother survived and then was able to tell the cops. If she didn't survive, he could have been on the run. Wow.
Fuller pleaded not guilty, but the jurors disagreed.
We, the jury, find the defendant guilty of first-degree intentional homicide.
After the jury found Fuller guilty on 3 counts, he showed what appeared to be emotion for the first time on trial.
That's funny. Like, he didn't care the whole time until he got proven guilty. That happens a lot. Where like these people will just sit there, they know that they killed someone, they're just like, and then they get told you're going to jail for life, and then they're like, I'm sorry for doing it. It's just because you got caught, bro. That's the only reason why you're sorry.
During Fuller's sentencing, he continued to maintain that he is innocent, and moments before he is sent to prison for the rest of his life, he put together a statement for the courtroom.
Judge, Mr. Fuller's prepared a statement that he asked that I read on his behalf. Okay.
Let's see.
Martise writes, I wanted to write this giving my sincerest apologies to this family I once shared time and love with. Truthfully, I am sorry about the pain you've all suffered through, but more importantly, the loss of my ex-girlfriend Kaylee that I loved too. But I have to continue to stand innocent because I am. And I hope you all can eventually see in your hearts that I am not the person the media has made me out to be.
So he's saying that he didn't do it, but like, do they have actual proof he did it?
Now, the judge will deliver the sentence.
I don't have any ability to trust that you will never commit these acts again. So in the interest of protecting the public, acknowledging the seriousness of these acts, The court orders that on count 1, you are sentenced to life in prison without eligibility for extended supervision.
As Fuller is being sentenced to spend the rest of his life behind bars, it appears he's completely unfazed.
Maybe he expected this to happen, you know, maybe he was like, yep, I screwed up. What's up, dummies? We're about to react to the longest prison sentences in US history. Apparently, this guy named James Holmes went to prison for 3,300. Why? What did you do that was so bad that you deserve to get 3,000 years in prison? You're gonna die in like 40 years. We're gonna find out what these people did to deserve the craziest prison sentences ever. Let's go.
In
Darren
1993,
Anderson.
a newlywed woman was driving home in Tulsa when 3 men rammed her car off the highway. What followed lasted hours. They dragged her to a motel, then to her own home. They abused her over and over, 13 separate times across 3 locations before she managed to reach a phone and call for help. Darren Benelford Anderson was one of those men. In 1994, a jury sentenced him to 2,200 years.
This guy got like 2,000 years because he tortured. I mean, okay, torturing somebody is messed up. The fact that he took this girl to another location, tortured her, then another location, like it proves that he's really messed up. But 2,000 plus years? What the? All right, let's go to the next one. I think these are going to get longer and longer.
James Holmes studied neuroscience to fix what he called his broken brain.
What?
Brilliant. Top 1% on his entrance exams. PhD program.
Okay, so this guy was
research grant.
smart.
On paper, everything a parent hopes for. Inside, he'd been fantasizing about mass murder since he was a teenager. By 2012, Holmes was falling apart. His girlfriend left. His grades collapsed. He began seeing shadow figures fighting at the edges of his vision. A psychiatrist worried he was dangerous. Then he started shopping. 4 guns, 6,000 rounds, body armor.
6,000 bullets? Why do you need 6,000? Okay, he's gonna do a horrible crime. He needs to be sent to jail for 1 billion years. I don't give a damn. 6,000 bullets?
He rigged his apartment with explosives. In a notebook, he invented a scoring system. 1 point per life taken. On July 20th, he walked into a midnight screening of The Dark Knight Rises in Aurora, Colorado. Tear gas first, then a shotgun blast into a crowd that couldn't see him through the smoke. 12 people died. 70 were hurt. When police found him in the parking lot, he wasn't running. He was calm, almost curious.
Wait, what? When the police got to him after he murdered a bunch of people, he was calm. He didn't even try to run away. Yeah, he's got to go to jail for 5,000 years.
The jury convicted him on all 165 counts. 1 vote saved him from death. The judge gave him 12 life sentences plus 3,318 years.
12 life sentences plus 3,300. Why does he get that many years? If anybody understands why they're doing that many years, let me know. But he deserves it. I'm not gonna lie, he actually deserves it.
Get the defendant out of my courtroom. Ariel Castro.
All right, here's the next one. Ariel Castro.
Ariel Castro drove a school bus every morning, went to church every Sunday. He played bass in a salsa band. His neighbors called him quiet. His daughter called him the best dad in the world.
Wait, is this guy... Wait, so if this guy's daughter thinks he's the best dad ever, if he drives the school bus every day, if he goes to church all the time, this can't be a bad guy, right? I mean, his hairline, Jesus Christ. You see that hairline? That's the only thing bad about him, but let's see.
But behind the boarded windows of 2207 Seymour Avenue, 3 women were chained to the walls. He'd taken them one by one. Amanda Berry, 16, was snatched walking home from work.
He snatched a 16-year-old. He kidnapped a 16-year-old and tied her up in a abandoned house.
Gina DeJesus, 14.
14-year-old. Okay, yep. He's going to jail for 5,821 years. That's my prediction. 5,821.
Was lured into his car because he was her friend's father. Michelle Knight, 21, was grabbed while heading to a custody hearing. For a decade, he kept them locked away, fed once a day, abused hundreds of times. When Knight got pregnant, he beat her until she miscarried.
What? This guy kept 3 girls captured, kidnapped for 10 years and nobody knew? What?
5 times. When Berry gave birth on Christmas Day, Castro forced Knight to deliver the baby. He said he'd kill her if it didn't survive. In May 2013, Berry kicked through a door and screamed. Police found all 3 alive.
Oh my gosh.
Castro pleaded guilty to 937 counts. Life plus 1,000 years. He told the judge he wasn't a monster. He was just sick.
Bro, I captured 3 women and tortured them for 10 years and kidnapped them for 10 years and forced them to deliver babies with no medical supervision, but I'm not a bad guy. Yeah, right, bro. His hairline's still messed up. No wonder you had to capture and kidnap a bunch of girls. You couldn't get any girls. What's wrong with your head?
He hanged himself in his cell.
Oh
the
my
man who
gosh.
imprisoned 3 women for a decade couldn't survive 33 days of captivity.
Wow.
Bobby Joe Long.
Bobby Joe Long, that's somebody's actual name? That's dude, no wonder he went to prison. I would hate my life if my name was Bobby Joe Long.
Bobby Joe Long used
Okay, I
to
need to
answer classified ads. Women selling lamps, blenders, furniture. He'd call, and if a woman sounded like she lived alone, he'd drive to her house.
Oh my God, that's actually messed up. So he would go on like Facebook and like try to buy stuff from people. You know how people sell stuff on Facebook, eBay. He would call and say, hey, I'm interested in that ladder that you're selling. And if it sounds like it's a girl and she sounds single, he would go and meet up and then probably do weird. Oh my God, he needs 1 billion years. I don't care. I'm going to predict that he gets 3,000 years for this.
That's how he abused more than 50 women across Tampa Bay.
Okay, never mind. 50 women? I thought he only did it once. 580 billion years.
Before anyone knew his name. Police couldn't connect the cases. Victims were too shaken. Long never struck the same place twice. Then in 1984, he stopped letting them live. Over 8 months, he abducted at least 10 women off the streets of Hillsborough County, strangled them, and left their bodies across Florida. What brought him down was a 17-year-old named Lisa McVeigh. Long grabbed her off her bicycle at 2 in the morning and kept her blindfolded for 26 hours. But McVeigh didn't panic. She memorized the turns in the road, the sound of an ATM, the layout of his apartment, and pressed her
Really?
fingerprints into every surface she could touch. When he released her, she went straight to the police. Within days, they were at his door. He confessed to 8 murders. The court sentenced him to death plus 28 life sentences, and he sat on death row for 33 years before Florida executed him in 2019.
Wow.
The girl he let live ended everything. Sholem
Shout
Weiss,
out to her, bro. This is actually the
2019.
smart girl.
The girl he let
This is the girl that he abducted, and she put her fingerprints all over his place, and she escaped. So shout out to her, bro. This guy deserved 1 billion
live
years,
ended
bro.
everything.
All right, let's hear the next
Sholem
one.
Weiss.
Sholem
Sholem Weiss
Weiss?
never touched a weapon. He wore a suit, carried a briefcase, and walked into boardrooms instead of banks.
Huh.
But what he stole destroyed more lives than most violent criminals ever could. In the early 1990s, Weiss helped drain $450 million from a Florida insurance company whose policyholders were mostly elderly retirees. Thousands of people lost their life savings.
Wait, so he was a scammer. He would like act like he was an insurance and he would take people's money. Yeah, see, he deserves to go to jail, bro. Scamming is so, like one of the worst things. If you steal from anybody or anything, you're literally
The company collapsed, the largest insurance failure caused by criminal acts in American history. Prosecutors offered him a 5-year plea deal. He refused and
5 years? They offered him 5 years for scamming a bunch of people? Wait, so why is he on this video? Did he end up getting caught for doing
demanded
other
a
things?
trial. He got one, 9 months long. But while the jury was still deliberating, Weiss shaved his beard, grabbed a fake passport, and vanished. He
Oh my
fled
gosh.
to Israel, then Brazil, then Belgium, then Austria, living on stolen millions while his victims counted their losses back home. He was found guilty on all 78 counts in absentia. The judge sentenced him to 845 years in prison.
845 years, bro. How, like, why does that even make any sense? Like, I know, like, maybe the judge is just mad, so he sentences him to, like, a bunch of years. But how does that make sense? He's gonna die in, like, 20.
The longest white-collar sentence in American history. Austrian police eventually caught him. He was
Wow.
extradited in 2002 and began serving his time. Then on January 19th, 2021, his last full day in office, President Trump commuted the sentence. Weiss walked out of prison the next morning. 845 years reduced to 18. Terry Nichols. On April 19th, 1995, a rented truck loaded with 2 tons of fertilizer and fuel oil exploded outside the Alfred P. Murrah Federal Building in Oklahoma City. The blast tore the north face off the building. 168 people died,
Oh my
including
gosh.
19 children in a second-floor daycare.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
McVeigh built the bomb and drove the truck. He was executed
Oh my God, this guy blew
in
up the...
2001, but he didn't do it alone. Terry Nichols helped buy the fertilizer. He
Look
helped
at this
steal
guy.
explosives
Creepy.
from a Kansas quarry. He helped rob a gun dealer to fund the plot. The night before, he helped McVeigh mix everything in the truck. Then he drove home and waited. When the building came down, Nichols was hundreds of miles away. He turned himself in 2 days later, and police found blasting caps, ammonium nitrate, a hand-drawn map of downtown Oklahoma City, and a receipt bearing McVeigh's fingerprints. The federal jury convicted him but deadlocked on the death penalty. Oklahoma tried him again. 161 counts of murder, one for every victim.
Okay, what is this? Dudley Wayne Kaiser. It shows somebody playing with a dog, playing with a... This looks so happy, bro. I have a feeling this guy's gonna be a creep.
On Halloween afternoon in 1976, Dudley Wayne Kaiser drove to his ex-wife's mother's house in Tuscaloosa.
Wait, they said on Halloween night? Don't tell me he's gonna like dress up as like a Halloween character, like a scary guy, and then
Alabama.
actually...
His 6-year-old son was outside playing with puppies when his father walked through the door. Inside, Kaiser and his estranged wife started arguing. When the mother-in-law reached for the phone, Kaiser drew a pistol from his belt and shot her in the forehead. Then he shot a college student who happened to be there. Then he chased his wife outside. She grabbed her son and pushed him to run. The boy made it to a neighbor's porch, but his mother collapsed in the driveway. The boy was the only witness. 6 years old, testifying against his own father.
Oh my God.
Kaiser was sentenced to death, but Alabama's death penalty was struck down, and at his retrial, the jury needed another way to make sure he'd never walk free. They gave him 2 life sentences and 10,000 years for the third murder.
Bro, 10,000 years! 10,000 years!
It made the Guinness Book of World Records as the longest sentence ever on a single count.
Bro, so this guy has the Guinness World Record of the longest sentence on one count. Bro, 10,000 years, look at him. He's depressed. Bro, if I was sitting in jail for 10,000 years, I'd be like, bruh, what the hell do I do?
Kaiser has applied for parole 10 times since, but denied every time. He's still alive, still locked up, still waiting for a yes that will never come. Paul Geidel. In 1911, a 17-year-old
1911, bro, this is a long time ago.
Orphan named Paul Geidel was working as a bellhop at a New York City hotel. One night, he sneaked into a guest room, pressed a chloroform-soaked rag to the man's face, and tried to rob him. The man suffocated, and Geidel escaped with a few dollars. He was arrested.
He robbed somebody for a few dollars?
2 days later, and sentenced to 20 years to life. In 1926, as he approached parole, Geidel was declared insane and sent to Dannemora State Hospital. He stayed 46 years. In 1972, he was moved to Fishkill, a facility for elderly inmates where rooms looked more like dormitories than cells. In 1974, after 63 years behind bars, Geidel was finally offered parole. But he said no. He had no family, no one waiting. He'd gone in as a boy and was now 80. He didn't recognize the world outside. "I can't make it out there," he told a visitor. "They treat me well here." He stayed 6 more years. On May 7th, 1980, at 86, Paul Geidel walked out, 68 years after he'd walked in. "No publicity, please," he said with a smile. He died in a nursing home 7 years later.
That's actually pretty crazy. So this guy went to jail at like 17 years old, and then he was in jail until he was like 80, and then he finally got out, and he was like, I don't even want to really get out. Like, I don't know. Damn, that's crazy. So he spent his whole life in prison.
He died in a nursing home 7 years later.
Rest in peace,
Charles Scott Robinson.
Charles Scott Robinson.
In 1994, a jury in Oklahoma convicted Charles Scott Robinson of abusing a 3-year-old girl.
Okay, yeah, he deserves 8,004,826 trillion years, bro. What is wrong with
6 counts. The kind of crime where the jury doesn't want you locked up. They want you erased. Under Oklahoma law, they couldn't give him life without parole. It wasn't an option for his charges, so the jury found another way to say what they meant. 5,000 years on each count. Judge Dan Owens stacked all 6 consecutively. 30,000 years. The longest prison sentence ever handed down in the United States.
30,000 years for abuse? I mean, dude, abusing a little kid, bro, just why, bro?
By doing that, the judge told Robinson, "I can assure you will spend the rest of your natural life in the Department of Corrections." The jury foreman put it differently. "We've seen too many instances of early release. We can't control what happens after this, but by God, we can send a message."
So the reason I'm starting to understand, the reason they give like 30,000 years is because sometimes people get their sentences released. Like if somebody gets like 80 years, sometimes they can apply to get like 50 years and then they get out when they're older. But these judges were like, hey, you're not getting out. I don't care if your 30,000 year sentence gets reduced in half to 15,000, or if it gets reduced 90%, you're still going to be wow.
Robinson's public defender called it a joke. The prosecutor said it was the point. Corrections logged it as 6 life terms, each worth 45 years. Even under the most generous parole math, Robinson couldn't walk free until he was 108. Some sentences aren't about time. They're about making sure the door never opens again.
30,000 years, that's pretty insane, bro. He's never seeing the light of day. What's up, dummies? Today we have a banger video to react to. It's the youngest serial killers in history, bro. We're gonna find out some of the youngest kids ever who ended up being serial killers, who ended up doing some crazy things. I didn't know kids could actually kill people. This is gonna be insane. Try not to get scared. Let's go. Yeah, there's a warning, like this is all GTA 6. It's not real, YouTube. Let's go.
Amarjit Sada, age
Amarjit Sada? No way, this is the first. Oh my gosh.
7. In 2007, a village in Bihar, India, was shaken by a discovery that would make global headlines. 8-year-old Amarjit Sada was arrested by police for the murder of 3 infants.
What?
He became known as the world's youngest serial killer, a title that still haunts criminal psychology to this day. Amarjit Sada was born in 1998 in the village of Mushahar, one of Bihar's most impoverished areas.
Okay, I gotta figure out why this kid did that. So he grew up in a very poverty type area where they didn't have a lot of food, didn't have a lot of water, didn't have a lot of money. But why would that make him want to like kill 3 infants?
His parents were daily laborers who struggled to feed their large family. Poverty was extreme. Opportunities were non-existent. Life was a daily fight for survival. In 2006, when Amarjit was just 7 years old, his aunt came to visit, leaving her infant daughter in the family's care.
Bad idea!
While she went to work in the city. While Amarjit's mother went to the market, she left young Amarjit to watch his baby cousin and his younger sister. What happened next was unthinkable. According to reports, Amarjit harmed the baby, eventually causing her death. He concealed the body in tall grass near the home. When his aunt returned and discovered what happened, the family was devastated. But here's where the story takes an even darker turn.
Bro, don't tell me this Amarjit Sada this kid's acting like he didn't do it.
They didn't report it to authorities. In their community, such matters brought shame and could lead to social and economic ruin. The death was covered up, attributed to illness or accident. Months later, Amarjit's own infant sister died under similar circumstances while the family slept. Again, there were suspicions, but the family remained silent. Some members reportedly knew or suspected what Amarjit had done, but these were considered family matters. The cycle of silence continued. It wasn't until
Send that boy to jail!
2007 that the outside world learned the truth. A 6-month-old baby named Kushbu disappeared from a local primary school. The community searched frantically.
No way Amarjit Sada stole a kid from a school. He's a 7-year-old
When
kid.
police investigated, witnesses reported seeing young Amarjit near the school. Under questioning, the 8-year-old confessed, not just to Kushbu's death, but to the earlier incidents involving his cousin and sister. Psychologists who evaluated Amarjit described him as showing no understanding of right and wrong. One called him someone who derived satisfaction from causing harm.
Wow, bro, he didn't know right from wrong. His parents didn't really instill in him what is like real and what's good and what's bad and what's fake, what's evil. Oh my gosh.
Others noted he appeared to lack empathy entirely. The International Journal of Indian Psychology published analysis suggesting severe neglect and possible mental illness.
I mean, when you grow up in a place where you have no food, no water, you have to struggle every single day, you have to search for your food, search for water, you're gonna be in that survival mindset. So maybe he thought these little kids were gonna steal all of his water and food, Wow, I feel bad for this kid.
In 2016, when he turned 18, he was released. His current whereabouts are unknown. He was given a new identity and released back into society.
What? Okay, so when he was 18, he got released from prison. I guess it makes sense because, he was so young, he didn't understand, but they gave him a new identity. They shaved his head. They gave him a mohawk, apparently. They gave him a new name. I guess that's cool, but wow, what?
The terrifying reality is that no one knows where Amarjit Sada is today. He's in his mid-20s now, living somewhere under a new name.
Bro, what if it was me? Wait, that doesn't make sense because I didn't
Whether
do that.
he was rehabilitated during his 10 years in the facility remains unclear.
He could
This
still
case
be
raised
doing it.
urgent questions about how to handle children who commit violent acts and whether an 8-year-old can truly be reformed. Jesse
All right, here's the
Pomeroy,
next one. Jesse Pomeroy.
12 to 14, December 1874.
Damn! How do they know what happened in 1874? That was like Red Dead Redemption 2.
A Boston courtroom fell silent as a 14-year-old boy stood before the judge. Jesse Pomeroy had just been convicted of murder, becoming the youngest person in Massachusetts history to face a first-degree murder charge.
14 is really young.
The courtroom was packed. Reporters filled every seat. The entire nation was watching.
Really?
Because this case forced America to confront an uncomfortable question. Can a child be evil? Jesse Pomeroy was born in 1859 in Charlestown, Massachusetts.
Let's see what happened in his childhood to cause him to become evil, because I think kids truly are never evil. They are always, you know, so wholesome, but then that they get like, they sense information and feelings from their parents and the people they're around, and they take in, because kids are like sponges. Kids are like magnets. Whatever's around them, they're gonna suck in. You know what I mean? So let's see what happened to his family.
From birth, he
or
was
something.
different. A medical condition left his right eye covered with a white film, giving him an unsettling appearance.
That looks cool. One eye white and one eye
Other
normal?
children mocked him relentlessly. His father, a butcher, was harsh and distant. School became a nightmare of isolation. By age 12, something had changed in Jesse. Between 1871 and 1872.
Bro, they had school back in the 1800s?
Young boys in the Chelsea and South Boston areas began reporting attacks by an older boy. They described being lured to isolated locations with promises of money or adventure. Once alone, they were restrained and harmed.
Wow, this Jesse kid would bait kids into going in the woods. He would say, "Oh, there's a leprechaun and a golden ticket out here," or whatever.
Escalated in severity. 7 different boys came forward with similar stories. What disturbed investigators was the pattern. Each attack showed calculation and planning. This wasn't impulsive childhood aggression. It was something else entirely.
Right.
Police eventually identified 12-year-old Jesse Pomeroy as the attacker.
So he was only 12 when he did it? He wasn't even 14. That's even worse. 12 is like once you start to become like an actual kid. You know, when you're like 10 or 11, you're like, eh. But when you're 12, like you're about to go into like middle school, bro.
He confessed readily, showing little emotion. The court sentenced him to a reform school until he turned 18. It seemed like the story was over. But Jesse's mother believed her son deserved a second chance. She lobbied for his early release, and in February 1874,
I have a feeling this is a bad idea. His mom was like, please let him out, please let him out. I feel like he's going to kill his mom.
After serving just
Why do I
17
think
months,
this?
Jesse was freed. 6 weeks later, 2 children went missing. In March, 10-year-old Katie Curran vanished after visiting the Pomeroy family's shop.
Oh, come on.
In April, another young child was found deceased. The violence was extreme.
Bro, it's this kid.
Investigators immediately suspected Jesse. When police searched the Pomeroy shop months later, they found Katie Curran's body hidden in the basement. Jesse was arrested and confessed to both deaths. He was 14 years old. The trial became a national sensation. Experts debated whether a child could truly understand the consequences of taking a life. Jesse's lawyers argued he suffered from what was then called moral insanity, an irresistible compulsion he couldn't control. The prosecution painted him as fully aware and calculating. The jury found him guilty. The judge sentenced him to death. At 14, Jesse Pomeroy was the youngest person in Massachusetts to receive a death sentence, but he would never be executed. The governor commuted his sentence to life in prison, where Jesse would spend 41 years in solitary confinement, one of the longest periods.
41 years in solitary confinement? Do y'all know what solitary confinement is? This is what it would look like, bro. You'd be in like a box. Like it'd be like this. This is what it would be like. Kind of like this. A completely dark room. No windows, no anything. Like these are your normal like prison rooms or whatever. This kid was sent into this dark room with no talking, no nothing for 41 years. Oh my gosh.
Mary Bell, age 10 to 11.
Wait, what? A 10-year-old girl was a serial killer? What? This is crazy. Oh, this is going to be a fire
May
video.
25th, 1968.
1968.
Newcastle upon Tyne, England. A 4-year-old boy named Martin Brown was found deceased in an abandoned house. The initial investigation suggested a tragic accident. There were no obvious signs of foul play. The case might have closed there, if not for what happened next. The day after Martin's discovery, someone broke into a nearby nursery school and vandalized it. Among the destruction, police found notes scrawled in crayon. One read, "We did murder Martin Brown." Investigators dismissed it as a sick joke, children playing pranks. But it wasn't a prank. Mary Bell was born in 1957 to a 16-year-old mother who worked in difficult circumstances.
Okay, so her mom was 16 years old. Okay, that's so weird.
From the beginning, Mary's life was marked by severe neglect and concerning treatment.
Okay, yeah, if you're 16, you are not ready to have a child. I don't even think if you're under like 20 years old, you're ready to have a child. You're not fully developed. I think you should have a kid once you're like 25. I think that's like a good age because you finally kind of understand life.
Was frequently absent, leaving Mary in dangerous situations. There were reports of harm that no child should ever endure. By age 10, Mary had become withdrawn, manipulative, and prone to violent outbursts. On May 25th, the day
How can a little girl be violent? Like, okay, I thought little boys being violent was kind of weird, but a little girl?
before her 11th birthday, Mary caused
Before her 11th birthday? Oh.
Martin Brown's death in that abandoned house. She was so small herself that investigators couldn't initially determine what had happened. It appeared to be an accident or sudden illness. 2 months later, on July 31st, 3-year-old Brian Howe disappeared while playing outside his home.
Can you imagine getting killed by like a 3-foot-tall 10-year-old girl?
His body was found that evening. This time, the evidence was clear. Someone had harmed him deliberately. Police began interviewing local children. 2 girls kept appearing in the investigation, Mary Bell and her friend Norma Bell.
Oh my God, they're both the same name, the last name, so maybe they were cousins?
Who, despite sharing a last name, were not related.
Okay.
Both girls acted strangely during questioning. Norma seemed excited about the investigation. Mary was evasive and showed odd emotional responses. Eventually, Norma told police that Mary had confessed to her about Brian. When confronted, Mary denied everything, but the evidence was building. In December 1968, both girls stood trial. Mary Bell was 11 years old. The courtroom struggled with how to handle a child defendant accused of such serious crimes.
Right.
The prosecution had to prove that Mary understood the wrongfulness of her actions. The defense argued she was too young to form criminal intent and had suffered such severe mistreatment that her mental state was compromised.
I mean, that's very true. Like, her mom was 16 years old doing some weird work. Like, she was never home. Her mom was still going to school, bro. Like, come on,
After
bro.
deliberation, the jury found Mary guilty of manslaughter due to diminished responsibility, not murder. Norma was acquitted. Mary was sentenced to be detained at Her Majesty's pleasure, essentially an indefinite sentence. She was sent to a secure facility for young offenders. Mary served 12 years before being released at age 23.
What? Bro, she got released. I bet she came back out and killed another.
She was given a new identity and lifelong anonymity to allow her a chance at rehabilitation. That anonymity has been extended to protect her daughter and granddaughter. What makes Mary's case particularly significant is what it revealed about childhood trauma.
Wow, so they gave her a new freaking... Wow, they gave her a new identity and her daughter's
Gita
identity.
Sereni, a journalist who extensively studied the case, found that Mary had been subjected to horrific mistreatment throughout her childhood. She wasn't born violent. She
Right.
was shaped by circumstances no child should face.
Yeah, nobody's born violent.
Mary Bell's case forced Britain to examine how it treats both child offenders and child victims of mistreatment. Today, Mary Bell lives anonymously somewhere in Britain. According to
Wow,
those who've
bro.
spoken with her, she doesn't claim to be wrongly convicted and acknowledges that her traumatic childhood doesn't excuse her actions.
Wow.
Robert Thompson and John Venables.
What? 2 of these kids, bro? These look like kids I just saw at Walmart the other day, bro. What? These kids aren't even like 6 inches tall.
Age 10. February 12th, 1993. Bootle, England. 2-year-old James Bulger was shopping with his mother at the New Strand shopping center when he disappeared. Security cameras captured haunting footage, 2 older boys leading the toddler away by the hand. The boys were Robert Thompson and John Venables. They were both 10 years old. What followed was one of the most shocking crimes in British history.
No way.
The 2 boys led James on a 2.5-mile walk through Liverpool. Dozens of people saw them. Some even asked if the toddler was okay. The boys told them he was their brother, or that they were taking him to the police station. No one intervened. They eventually brought James to a railway line in Walton. There, away from witnesses, they attacked him. The violence was extreme and prolonged. They left his body on the tracks. 2 days later, James's remains were discovered. The nation was horrified. Police reviewed CCTV footage and released images of the 2 boys. Anonymous tips led them to Robert Thompson and John Venables, both of whom had been absent from school that day. During questioning, both boys initially denied involvement. Eventually, under pressure and with evidence mounting, they began admitting to parts of what happened, though each blamed the other for the worst of it. The backgrounds of both boys revealed troubled homes. Robert Thompson came from a family where violence was common. He'd witnessed and experienced severe mistreatment from a young age.
That's
John
messed up.
Venables also had a difficult upbringing, though different in nature. Both boys had shown behavioral problems at school. In November 1993, Thompson and Venables stood trial. Because of the severity of the crime, they were tried in an adult court.
Wow, they're only 10 and they're getting tried as adults.
Though accommodations were made for their age. The trial was extraordinarily difficult. The judge, jury, and public struggled with the reality that 10-year-old children had committed such an act. Both were found guilty and sentenced to detention at Her Majesty's pleasure. The judge called it an act of unparalleled evil and barbarity.
Whatever
but
that
determining
means.
how long they should serve proved controversial.
I would honestly give them 10 years in prison and then see if they completely have changed.
The original recommendation was 8 years, later increased to 10, which meant
I just said that.
they'd be released as teenagers. Public outrage was intense. James Bulger's family was devastated, feeling that justice hadn't been served. But in 2001, when both boys reached age 18, they were released with new identities and lifelong anonymity orders to protect them from vigilante violence. Since
Wow.
then, their paths have diverged. Robert Thompson has reportedly not reoffended and has lived quietly under his new identity.
Okay.
John Venables, however, has been recalled to prison twice, both times for offenses related to inappropriate images of children. His repeated offenses have reignited debates about whether he should have been released in the first place. The James Bulger case remains one of the most analyzed and debated cases in British legal history. Craig Price.
Craig Price. Okay, he does not look young at all. What is this? I thought this was the youngest serial killer. This guy looks like he eats a lot of
13 to
cereal.
15. September 5th, 1989. Warwick, Rhode Island. Police
Rhode
responded
Island?
to a
Who lives
disturbing scene at a family home. Inside, they found 3 victims. The violence was extreme and shocking.
Wow.
The community was terrified. A dangerous killer was on the loose. What police didn't initially realize was that the killer lived just a few houses away, and he was 15 years old. Craig
Wow.
Price was born in 1973 and grew up in the Buttonwoods neighborhood of Warwick.
Bro, that looks so nice, bro. Hold on. Bro, look at this nice area. This is Buttonwoods in Rhode Island or something, bro. All these other kids, they had horrible upbringing. You know, somebody gave birth to this girl at 16 years old and they were poor. This is the
Buttonwoods
nicest.
neighborhood of Warwick.
Bro, look, it's on the water. Okay, we got to figure out why this guy was killing.
To his neighbors, he seemed like a normal kid. Athletic,
Obviously
involved in
not.
sports, generally friendly. He was known as Iron Man because of his size and strength. His teachers described him as bright. But beneath that normal exterior, something was deeply wrong. On July 27, 1987, when Craig was just 13 years old, he committed his first act of violence.
Oh my gosh.
His victim was Rebecca Spencer, a 27-year-old mother who lived 2 houses
What?
away from the Price family. Craig broke into her home and attacked her. The crime was brutal and appeared motiveless. Police had no suspects. The case went cold. For 2 years, nothing happened. Craig went to
Wow.
school, played sports, and lived what appeared to be a normal teenage life.
No
Then,
way.
on September 1st, 1989, he struck again. This time, his victims were the Heaton family, Joan and her 2 young daughters. Craig later admitted he was under the influence of substances when he broke into their home that night. The breakthrough came 4 days later. Police noticed that Craig had an injury on his hand, which he claimed was from an unrelated accident. A search of his home revealed concerning evidence. Under questioning, Craig confessed, not just to the Heaton family
Wow.
attacks, but to Rebecca Spencer's death 2 years earlier. His confession was
Wow.
chilling in its lack of remorse. When asked why he did it, he couldn't provide a clear answer. Craig Price was arrested just weeks before his 16th birthday.
That's sad, bro. He was about to get his driver's license. He was probably going to be, you know, the cool guy on the basketball team driving his homies around. Yep,
This
you're dead.
presented a massive legal problem. Under Rhode Island law at the time, juveniles could not be tried as adults, regardless
What?
of how serious their crime
He killed 4
were.
people, bro.
This
I
meant
mean,
Craig could only be held until age 21. Despite killing 4 people, he would serve a maximum of 6 years. The community was outraged. How could someone who'd committed such violent acts be released after just a few years? Citizens formed groups to lobby for legal changes. The case attracted national attention. Even President Bill Clinton weighed in, advocating for reforms to juvenile justice laws. Rhode Island passed new legislation allowing juveniles to be tried as adults for serious
you go.
crimes. But these changes couldn't be applied retroactively to Craig Price. He'd beaten the system, or so it seemed. While incarcerated, Craig's behavior ensured he wouldn't be released at 21. He repeatedly got into fights, assaulted corrections officers, and violated institutional rules.
So there's just something wrong with this kid.
Each infraction resulted in additional charges and extended sentences. In 2004, he was transferred to Florida's prison system, where he continued his pattern of violence. In 2017, Craig Price was charged with attacking another inmate. He pleaded guilty and received an additional 25-year sentence.
Damn!
Now in his early 50s, Craig Price remains behind bars and likely will for the rest of his life.
Wow.
Psychologists who've studied Craig's case point to several factors. He experienced significant challenges growing up. He witnessed violence at home. He had untreated behavioral issues from a young age. But experts...
That's hilarious, bro. This kid's in a basketball game.
He had
He
untreated
shoots it, the guy takes the ball,
issues from
then
a
he
young
starts
age.
choking him.
Jasmine Richardson.
Jasmine Richardson. This is another girl. I didn't think girls were killer.
Age 12, April 23rd,
12-year-old
2006. Medicine Hat, Alberta, Canada.
Bro, there's a place in Canada called Medicine Hat? Who the hell would want to live in a place called Medicine?
Police responded to a disturbing call about bodies discovered in a residential home. When they arrived, they found 3 victims, Mark Richardson, his wife Deborah, and their 8-year-old son Jacob. The violence was shocking, but what made this case even more disturbing was who was missing: the family's 12-year-old daughter Jasmine. At first, police feared Jasmine had been taken or harmed as well, but as they investigated, a different picture emerged. In Jasmine's school locker, they found a drawing, stick figures of a family inside a burning house, and a girl running to a truck. Evidence on her computer revealed dark conversations with an older man named Jeremy Steinke.
Oh my God, don't tell me the older man was like telling her to do this stuff. Oh.
Within 24 hours, police located Jasmine and Jeremy in Saskatchewan. They were arrested together. Under interrogation, the truth came out. Jasmine and Jeremy had planned and executed the attack together. Jasmine Richardson had been a typical preteen until about age 11, when she became interested in goth subculture. She dressed in black, wore heavy makeup, and spent hours online in forums dedicated to dark themes. Her parents, Mark and Deborah, initially thought it was just a phase. But when the 12-year-old...
I mean, honestly, if I have a daughter one day, and she's 11 years old, and she's like going through a little goth phase where she's just like wearing all black and she's like depressed, I'm getting her out of that phase.
Began a relationship with 23-year-old Jeremy Steinke.
23 and 12? Wait.
But when the 12-year-old began a relationship with 23-year-old
23 and 12? That's 11 years.
Jeremy Steinke, they became
Jeremy Stinky. His last name's Stinky. That's funny.
Jeremy claimed to be a 300-year-old werewolf. He wore a vial of what he said was blood around his neck. He was immersed in fantasy and had his own troubled background, including an unstable childhood and possible developmental issues. When Jasmine...
What do you mean he possibly has development? He's got issues.
Parents discovered messages between their daughter and Jeremy discussing violent themes. They forbade her from seeing him. They took away her computer.
Why would they? Why did they stop her from seeing him once they found out that they were talking violently? Why didn't they stop her from seeing him when they realized he was freaking 11 years older than her?
They grounded her. But Jasmine found ways to communicate with Jeremy anyway, and her resentment toward her parents grew. In online conversations, Jasmine began expressing a desire to be free of her parents. Jeremy encouraged these thoughts. Together, they began discussing a plan. On April 22nd, the night before the attacks, they watched the movie Natural Born Killers, about a couple who go on a violent spree after the boyfriend eliminates the girlfriend's parents. The next night, Jeremy entered the Richardson home through a basement window. Witnesses later testified that Jeremy was responsible for the attacks on Jasmine's parents, while Jasmine was in her brother's room. The details of what happened to 8-year-old Jacob remain disputed, with each defendant blaming the other. After fleeing the scene, Jasmine and Jeremy were found the next day. Both were charged with 3 counts of first-degree murder. The trial raised complex questions. Jasmine was 12 years old when the crimes occurred, making her the youngest person in Canadian history to be convicted of multiple counts of murder. Could someone so young truly understand the permanence and horror of what she'd done? Was she manipulated by an older partner? Or was she an active participant? The court found Jasmine guilty on all 3 counts.
Wow.
Because of her age, she received the maximum sentence allowed under Canada's Youth Criminal Justice Act, 10 years, with 4 years in a psychiatric facility followed by community supervision. Jeremy Steinke was convicted as an adult and received 3 life sentences.
Damn, 3!
In 2016, after completing her 10-year sentence, Jasmine Richardson was released. She's now in her early 30s, living under a new identity somewhere in Canada. Canadian law protects her privacy, and her records were sealed after she served her time without reoffending. Her release was controversial. James's family believed she deserved a longer sentence. Others pointed to her young age at the time of the crimes and argued that rehabilitation should be possible for children.
I mean, bro, she got released from prison, but her mom, dad, and her little brother were dead. Like, she's got no family. What the? This is crazy. I didn't know they like, if somebody like murdered at a young age, they would change their identity. They would change their name, like everything. They would give them a haircut. That's actually crazy. These little kids are crazy, bro. What's up, dummies? We're about to react to a serial killer who realizes that he's been caught 45 years later. This guy apparently killed a bunch of people 45 years ago, and he just got caught after 45 years. This dude looks like a freaking serial killer, bro. Let's see what happens in this video. This is insane. It's been going viral recently. 22 million views.
Good morning. I'm so sorry. I'm super embarrassed. Hi, puppy.
This man is 74-year-old John Arthur Getrew.
Okay.
An elderly homeowner in Hayward, California.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't really look like, if you told me that this guy was a serial killer 45 years ago, I would be like, I don't really see it. Like, if I saw him on the road, I'd be like, oh, look at that little nice old guy. He's so freaking cute. But dude, we're about to find out some crazy stuff about him.
What he doesn't know is that he's speaking with an undercover officer closing in on a decades-old secret.
Undercover officer pulled up to his house and was courting him. Ooh.
And things are about to take an unexpected turn.
This is about to be a crazy video, bro.
I was turning around in your driveway and I accidentally hit your car.
Which one?
The one parked in the driveway. Do you want to maybe take a look to see if we should exchange insurance information?
Take a peek.
Oh man, I'm so sorry.
Wait, I kind of feel, why do I feel bad for this old guy, bro? She's lying to him. She's an undercover officer saying, oh, I accidentally crashed into your car, whatever. She's going to try to get his information. Why do I feel bad for him? Maybe, what if he killed like 5 like young kids? Maybe then I won't feel bad for him, but I kind of feel bad for him right now.
So embarrassing.
Sheriff's office. Yeah, go ahead. Hands behind your back. Wait in the car. Go ahead and face the car.
Whoa, they just arrested him. They just arrested him out of nowhere.
Anybody else in the house? No, my wife's at work.
Wow.
Deputies give John a routine pat-down before he's led to the front seat of a police vehicle.
Wait, so I thought she was just, like, the undercover officer was just going to be like, oh, I accidentally hit your car, like, can we exchange information? But they had cops staked out of his house. Wait, what? We got to see why he got arrested.
You want to rest on that? You're gonna close the door, make sure the dogs.
Yes.
We'll take care of your dogs. Okay. Yeah.
Though he hasn't been told why he's been arrested, John applauds the deputies for the ruse.
Good line for coming out of the house. Get that guy out of the house.
Months earlier, cold case investigators in Santa Clara County reopened a murder case that had remained unsolved for 45 years. DNA from the crime scene was compared to a public database, allowing investigators to trace a family tree and identify John, a husband, father, and former Boy Scout leader, as the primary suspect.
Wait, what? So this was a case from 45 years ago. They used DNA. What?
Investigators bring him in for questioning, hoping to uncover the truth. Is this devoted husband and father simply the wrong man? Or has his carefully lived life been a cover for something far more sinister? The following is based on official police records, and most of the footage has never been seen before.
Wow.
So I'm Sergeant Cortez, okay? I'll let you know what's going on and why.
So this is security camera footage of the investigation room. This is fire. Dude, we're going to figure out why this guy got arrested and what he did. Let's see if he's innocent or he's freaking guilty.
Here today,
yeah,
okay?
I'd like to know.
Yeah, absolutely, of course. Before I let you know what's going on, I just want to get your personal information. Just confirm your name. Your full name is John Arthur
Getrew.
Getrew?
Getreu.
Okay. Were you ever in the military?
No.
No. Have you ever been arrested in the past?
No.
John shares basic information about his past and childhood, revealing that he was born in Newark, Ohio, and spent the early years of his life moving frequently due to his father's long military career. He spent a significant part of his teen years in West Germany, where his family lived on a U.S. military base.
Wow.
Now, you mentioned that he had never been arrested. And I found out something happened in Germany.
Okay.
Can you tell me about that?
I was arrested in Germany.
Okay, what happened with that? Can you tell me about that?
I was accused of murder.
The revelation is especially jarring, given that he's here today on accusations of his involvement in a completely separate murder.
Tell me about what happened. What was the accusation against you?
I killed a chaplain's...
Wait, what?
Or not a chaplain. Yeah, a chaplain's daughter.
Okay.
And that was all I knew.
Okay. Do you remember what happened?
No.
With this young female?
No.
No?
So he said he got arrested in Germany because they thought he killed someone, but they never found proof. But he's getting arrested today because they think he killed someone in the U.S. So he must have actually killed someone in Germany too. I
didn't even know her.
The young girl, 15-year-old Margaret Williams, attended a dance at an American youth club one Saturday night in 1963 when John was just 18 years old.
So apparently this is the girl from Germany.
The two were said to have met on the street shortly after, where she agreed to let him walk her home.
He's 18 shooting shots with 15-year-olds?
Her body was discovered the next day on a baseball diamond behind the club.
What? Her dead body was found on a baseball park? What?
She'd been sexually assaulted and strangled.
Bro, what?
You didn't even know her? Why did they arrest you? I mean, if...
Probably the next day.
Okay.
After they found the body, I guess.
Okay. How did they tie you to this body? How did they connect you to this body?
Somebody had seen me, walk that direction or walk towards the school, or
Okay.
it was an elementary school.
Okay. Did you... I mean, I don't know the details of what happened.
I don't know the details either, so...
Okay.
I mean, yeah, low-key, he's like, what? He's like 65 years old now, and this happened when he was 18. I would have forgot stuff too, but is he actually the killer of this person? I feel like he's not. I trust this guy. I don't know why, but maybe by the end of this video, I'm going to be like, this guy's a crazy dude.
Did you actually meet this young lady?
That's what they say.
Though John maintains his innocence, he was found guilty at trial for Margaret's murder, ultimately receiving a sentence of 10 years in a German juvenile prison.
Wait, what? So he was found guilty of the thing when he was in Germany. He was found guilty of killing that girl in Germany. He served 10 years. What?
Because of his age at the time, he was released after serving roughly 2/3 of his sentence. Then he walked
So
free.
he only served about 7 years.
And so you spent actually 6 years in prison?
Something like that.
Wow. And then how, after you were released, what happened?
I just was dropped off at McGuire Air Force Base, and my father picked me up, and that was it.
That was it? You came back to the
Never
United
heard
States?
a word from him. Nothing.
Okay.
After returning to the United States, John moved to California, and in 1975 was once again at the center of a serious crime.
Okay, I mean, honestly, so he gets charged for murdering someone in Germany, a little girl. He murders a little girl. Then he moves back to the U.S. with his family, and then he's suspected of committing another crime. Now, maybe this is just two coincidences, but what are the odds that you get like charged with, or you're a suspect of two different murders? Like, that's just like really rare coincidence.
And then at some point, there was another accusation against you about a sexual assault from the Palo Alto Police Department?
Yeah, Palo Alto Police Department.
Okay.
That's when I was the leader of an Explorer post.
Okay. Can you tell me about what happened there?
Nothing.
Okay.
I was accused, interviewed, and that was it.
Okay. What's this allegation? I got to ask you.
Yeah.
This allegation that this young girl made against you that you sexually assaulted her. Did that actually happen?
No, not that not that I know of. And if I was arrested for specifically that and then not even tried, and then nothing's happened. Like I told him, nothing happened.
Yeah.
I never saw her again.
Did you end up serving time for that? Do you remember?
How do you not remember?
I didn't serve any time.
How do you not remember if you went to jail or not, bro? If I went to jail, I would remember.
I know of.
Okay.
I can't.
It's a pretty important thing,
it was
buddy.
so piddly that.
You weren't didn't go to trial or anything like that? Okay.
According to multiple news sources, John was 31 years old when the teenager came forward, claiming he not only assaulted and strangled her, but threatened to kill her if she didn't comply.
Bro, can y'all believe this,
He
bro?
received a 6-month sentence, serving just 30 days on weekends after 5 were suspended.
So I want to tell you a little bit about my investigation, okay? Are you familiar with the with Palo Alto area, Stanford area, the hills?
Oh my God,
and
he's telling this guy about where he found a body or whatever. Oh man, let's see if he clams up, bro. Because dude, if I killed somebody and then somebody was telling me, oh, we found something, obviously I wouldn't do that. But let's say, I did something bad and I left somebody hanging out in a park or whatever, right? That if somebody was asking me about that park, I'd be like, you know what I mean? So let's see if he clams up.
Yeah.
You ever go out there?
I was a scout leader. I traveled all those hills.
Which hills are you talking about?
Well, we were out in the Half Moon Bay Hills.
Okay.
And I traveled up through there, hiked with the boys.
Okay,
Did you ever go in the hills, like in the area around Page Mill Road?
Oh, it's getting
Road,
big.
like just west of Stamford.
He's getting into it.
No, you never went to that area.
So he's saying he never went to that area, but maybe that's the area where they found the body. So he's just saying, oh no.
So I'm investigating. There's a murder up there in the hills, and would there be any reason that you were ever up in those hills?
Said no.
No.
Leslie Marie Perlov was a 21-year-old Stanford University graduate working.
She's so cute. Look at her, bro. 21-year-old. She seems like her name is Leslie Perlov. She seems like she's like Russian, bro. What? She seems like a cool girl. What?
As a law clerk at the North County Law Library in Palo Alto, California in 1973. Her body was found dumped in the Stanford Dish hiking area.
Bro,
a
somebody
floral
killed her.
scarf was found tightly knotted around her neck and had been used as a ligature to strangle her to death.
God.
It was DNA found beneath her fingernails that led them to John.
There was DNA underneath her fingernails that led them to this old guy. So maybe, I'm just like thinking like crazy right now. Maybe he was like, trying to assault her or something. She was like, stop. And she was grabbing him, right? Like scratching him. And then a little bit of his skin DNA got underneath her nails. Oh my gosh, dude, the technology's crazy.
Who at the time worked near the Stanford campus as a security guard.
You ever see this young lady?
Oh my God, he's showing.
You know her?
No, who's that?
He's showing a picture of the girl that this guy possibly killed 45 years ago. Wow, I bet his heart is pounding out of his stomach.
It's a young lady that an investigation I'm doing, and she was murdered.
Wow.
Do you ever see her at all?
No.
She look familiar?
Leslie's 1972 orange Chevrolet Nova was found parked at the gate of an old quarry near Old Page Mill Road, just east of where her body was found.
Do you remember ever stopping by the side of the road and looking into this vehicle?
No.
It's an orange Chevy Nova.
No.
I mean, of course he's gonna say no. What would he say? Oh yeah, I remember. Like,
no.
No, sir.
Okay.
Look at they're fast forwarding.
Do you know the name Leslie Perlov? Leslie Perlov?
No.
No? Okay.
I kind of believe the old guy. I don't know why. He seems, either he's been planning this day for 45 years. Like he's like, okay, if I ever get captured, I'm just going to act like a lonely grandpa who doesn't know what the hell's going on. Maybe he's been planning this for 45 years, but I feel like he's telling the truth.
She wasn't a girlfriend of yours?
Oh, no.
Okay. I had to ask.
She's cute anyway.
Yeah, very.
That would be about, she'd be about 18 years old, I guess.
Okay.
At Stanford. Yeah, Stanford graduate. Yeah. But that's it. I don't even recognize her.
Curiously, the sergeant hasn't shared with John that Leslie was a Stanford graduate.
Why do you say she's a Stanford graduate?
Well, just by the way she dresses and all in this area,
Sure.
But, I didn't say graduate either. I said,
You said graduate.
She's a college kid.
Oh, okay.
He said
Now,
graduate.
This young lady was obviously murdered, like I said. She was strangled.
Jeez.
Would you ever think about doing anything like that?
Nope.
Of course he's going to say no.
I know that you were accused of a sexual assault, right? Would you ever think about committing a sexual assault?
Of course he's going to say no.
I have no reason for it.
And I'm going to ask you...
That's facts, though. Why would I do that? Like, people who, people who do that, like, they assault somebody in, like, a weird way. Like, bro, just go meet, like, if you really want a girl that bad, go meet a girl and, like, go hang out with her and talk to her. Just be you, bro. You don't need to do it by force. Like, nobody would...
Questions.
Yeah,
I think it's weird when people do that stuff.
When you were younger, did you ever fantasize about, sexual assault?
What?
It's what
type
it
of
sounds
question?
like by looking at my record.
Yeah. or killing a young woman.
What type of question is that? Oh, when you were younger, have you ever fantasized about killing somebody? Like, obviously, this guy, he's going to say no. In any situation, he's going to say no. If he didn't ever do it, he would tell the truth and he would say no. And if he did do it, he would lie and say no. Why would he tell the cop, yeah, I used to fantasize about killing people? It's a stupid question, bro.
No. In this investigation, if your DNA was on this young lady, how do you think? Why would you think your DNA was on her?
Wow, he just said, "What if your DNA was on her?" And let's.
Haven't the slightest idea.
I don't have the slightest idea.
Were you involved in the murder of this young girl?
Nope.
As the sergeant continues to press for answers, John inches closer to a major mistake.
Oh, he's about to make a major mistake. He must have said something wrong or something. Because at this point, they have no proof. Other than the DNA on her, but is that enough proof?
Get aware of what he's about to give away.
You know about DNA and how it's transferred, right?
Yeah. This can be how it's transferred. I can always just tell.
Okay, tell me about that.
Yeah, one is semen.
Okay.
One is from the
Saliva.
mouth.
Sure.
You know.
Yeah.
That's the only two that I know of.
Okay.
Now, if there's some that are bodily, I mean, other than these two transferred, then it's totally different.
Okay. And you know about technology now, advances in technology
is getting good.
Yeah, so they're
catching them every day.
Yeah. How do you think your DNA would be on a person?
Don't know.
You don't know? Okay.
Especially this person or these two persons.
What two persons?
Well, that you're talking about.
Yeah.
The two young women.
Okay. I showed you a picture of that one young lady.
Yeah. No.
Okay. What's the second young lady?
The one up on the one up on the hill.
Okay.
Yeah. There's two different places you're talking about.
Okay. One of them's up on the hill?
Yeah.
Okay. And then up on what hill? Well, you mentioned the hill.
You mentioned it.
I mentioned the hills.
Yeah.
Okay. And what's the other one? Because I don't remember another one.
Well, there's the two girls. It's not both the same place.
I mean, I agree with this guy, the bald guy. Because the investigator mentioned one girl in the hills, and then the other Stanford graduate girl.
Okay. I mentioned one girl up on the hill.
Yeah, I mean, okay, wherever she was, wherever the second girl was.
Oh, okay.
While the sergeant doesn't yet know it, another woman was found in the Palo Alto area in 1974, 1 year after Leslie's body was discovered.
Don't tell me this dude did multiple.
21-year-old Janet Taylor was found dumped along Sandhill Road in the same Stanford Dish hiking area.
Oh my gosh.
According to news sources, she'd also been assaulted and strangled to death.
Oh my gosh, dude.
The serial killer responsible for the deaths of both Leslie and Janet would escape justice for decades. Until now.
Don't tell me it's actually him.
I think I'm at a point in my investigation that, you know.
I'm guilty, and that's it.
Well, I'm trying, you know. Well, there's a couple things, John.
What the fuck is he
your
like?
DNA's on her.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not trying to find out who did it. What I'm trying to find out is why.
That's what they always say. They always say, we know who did it, but why? They give the suspect a chance to redeem himself. Normally, the suspects feel like this is their way out. So then they're like, okay, it was an accident, you know, and then they had just admitted to it. He actually doesn't have proof that this old guy did it, but the old guy's going to admit it because he's going to fall for his trick. Watch.
And I think you know more than you're telling me.
No, I wish I knew.
With John refusing to admit the truth, another investigator joins in the effort to obtain a confession. And the added pressure will soon tear his lies even further apart.
Don't tell me he admitted it.
It's not an accident that your DNA got there. Your DNA and the type of DNA and where it is on the victim, there's no other explanation. You committed this crime. We know you committed this crime.
Oh my gosh.
Okay? What we don't know is why. And we're going to give you the opportunity to explain it to us.
Low key.
You don't have to. I thought about it, and that's all I can think of.
Honestly, bro, if somebody had me in this investigation room, if I was in this old guy's spot and they were like, you killed these people, we know you did. And I'd be like, no, I didn't. Like, if I truly didn't do it, I'd be like, what are you talking about, bro? I didn't do it. But this guy's just saying, Now, maybe I'll be different when I grow up, but like, if somebody was accusing me of murder and I didn't do it, I'd be like, bro, I didn't do it. Show me the evidence, bro.
No.
No what?
No, I'm not guilty.
Okay. Well, I'm telling you right now you are.
Okay, fine.
Okay. You had to have known this day was coming.
Yeah, I know that. That's why it took so damn long.
As they push harder for the truth about Leslie, John once again lets slip that she wasn't the only one he left in the hills.
So why her?
I don't even know who she is. If that's the first girl or the one girl that's up on the hill or whatever, you know.
What do you mean the first girl?
Well, he said there's two people. There's two girls. Unless I misunderstood him.
I think he said there was two girls. I remember the cops saying there was a girl in the hills, and then there was a girl found on like a baseball. I don't know.
They were killed within probably an hour of each other and 2 hours of each other, or day, or who knows.
Do you remember? How do you remember those details?
Some of the questions he's asked me.
Do you remember seeing any newspaper articles or media about those?
Nobody, but that girl there is not the other one that he showed me. If that's the girl there with, the other picture, I doubt it.
I think he's got autism.
I mean, look at the body.
Mm-hmm.
It could be somebody else. I don't think they're the same one.
Is that why you don't recognize her?
No.
Because that's not the girl that you
I'm
killed?
not questioning. I don't recognize her. I've never seen her.
Do you think it was a different girl that you killed and that's not the one we're
I
showing
didn't
you?
kill any girl.
Right.
You didn't kill the girl in Germany?
No. Well, that's total different. That's when I was 18 years old or younger.
Wait, what?
In a final confrontation, investigators force John to face the mounting evidence against him.
There's a situation in Germany where a girl ends up dead and you weren't there.
Mm-hmm.
Then we have a situation
here that was
years later after you came back to the States where a girl ends up dead and you say you weren't there, yet your DNA is there.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think the chances are of that happening?
Look, he's messing around with something. He's nervous.
I don't know.
What would you do if you were us and you were investigating this case? What would that look like to you?
There's a brick wall.
What the hell does that mean?
Well, I mean, you found out, you couldn't find out, so.
What do you mean I found out and I couldn't find out?
Oh, nothing. I'm just let it go. I'm.
Well, you understand it's my job not to let things like that go, right?
I have nothing to say about it.
It's got to be quite a burden, John.
Mm-hmm.
He's guilty.
Well,
He's guilty.
I'm gonna put the questioning from here on, unless I'm represented by somebody in the court.
He's guilty.
What do you mean?
A lawyer.
You'd like a lawyer?
I like a lawyer.
Okay. Thanks, John.
After requesting a lawyer, the interrogation came to an end. But justice quickly caught up with 74-year-old John Arthur Getrew, who was arrested and booked into the Santa Clara County Main Jail with a $10 million bond.
Damn!
In January 2019, DNA from the torn crotch of Janet Taylor's underwear was also determined to be a match for John. In September 2021, a jury found him guilty of first-degree murder with infliction of great bodily injury in the killing of 21-year-old Janet Taylor.
So he was actually caught.
He was sentenced to 7 years to life in prison, finally putting a serial killer who had escaped justice for decades behind bars for good.
Okay.
In January 2023, he pleaded guilty to the murder of Leslie Perloff and received a second life sentence to be served consecutive with the first.
Wow.
According to multiple news sources, John Getrew died of natural causes on September 22nd, 2023. At the age of 79.
Wow.
His DNA remains in the state database and will continue to be compared against evidence from unsolved murders in the ongoing effort to close more cases.
So this old guy was actually guilty, bro, of all this. It's just crazy because he did all this like 60 years ago and then he has to deal with it now. That's crazy. I'm glad they found, I'm glad they, did justice, but damn, that's crazy. What's up, dummies? We're about to react to an evil mom that doesn't realize that she's a terrible liar. Apparently this mom said that her son is missing, but she's lying. This is gonna be a creepy video. Hopefully she didn't like kill her son or whatever, but let's see this.
So how do we find Alika?
Huh?
I don't know. You're not lying. So
I can already tell, bro. Like this is somebody's mom. She's evil, bro. I can already tell. Like there's just something about how she's acting, bro. This is gonna be creepy, bro.
You got some blood drops on your shoes.
This is Janet Garcia.
He just noticed that this girl has blood on her shoes. Don't tell me she killed her. Okay, let's watch this.
27 years old. Police in Clark County, Everett, Washington meet her at a rehabilitation center. They're there because of several reports about her missing 4-year-old son, Ariel.
Missing 4-year-old son?
Who called police to report Ariel missing was his grandmother, Maria. Investigators quickly learn that Ariel was last seen with his mother. Once they locate Janet, they begin talking to her, trying to make sure the boy is safe.
What's going on today?
Can I open the zipper? Just checking it. Thank you. I just want to make sure before.
What's going on today with you? And like, sounds like the cops have been talking to you already.
yeah. So
You got some blood drops on your shoes.
yeah.
In the call with police, Ariel's grandmother reports something alarming. After going to Janet's apartment, she says she found several spots of blood inside.
So my son fell this morning earlier.
Oh no.
Yeah, so, but I was able to take him to the doctors and everything was okay. I took him with another lady so she can watch him for me because I wasn't staying at home. I had problems going on with my parents and they didn't let me in the house. So
what?
I was staying with another lady. She was super sweet. That's where my son fell. And then, but we left, so I was like, okay, you know. So I went to another lady's house.
Okay, she's yapping, bro. I'm pretty sure the cops literally asked her, okay, where is your son? Because her son's missing, right? She's over here saying, oh, I was hanging out with this lady. She's really sweet. Like, that's what people do when they're lying. They just like add to the story. Just tell them where your son is. You're a mom. How do you not know the location of your son?
And I told her if she could watch him for me, I wanted to come get, I wanted to fully recover. I'm an alcoholic, so I was like, if you can watch him for me for 12 months, that'd be amazing. Because
damn, what? This girl's talking about how she's an alcoholic and she asked this lady if she could watch her son. I thought she meant like, oh, could you watch my son for 30 minutes? Or like, could you watch my son for today? She said she asked this lady to watch her son for 12 months. That's a whole year. You want to go a whole year without looking at your son? You're
I'm not
weird.
talking to my mom, and she's the one that has like just like a notarized paper saying that she has legal custody of them, but I have legal custody of them. She's not letting me see my older son, so
that would be really hard.
Yeah, I'm a little bit upset about that one. So
Yeah.
I'm here now and everything's okay. So I don't know what else.
2 days before this body cam footage, on March 25th, Janet's own mother, Maria, had filed for legal custody of Ariel and his 7-year-old brother. In her statement, Maria said Janet had a history of taking Ariel with her to bars while she was drinking and hanging out with friends.
That's weird.
The boy often had no shoes on and wasn't dressed properly for the cold weather.
No shoes on and no jackets in the cold weather? Okay, if that's true, that mom is messed up, bro. She's evil.
She also claimed Janet had left both kids alone for long periods of time without food, had been physically abusive, once even throwing Ariel's brother against a wall, and that she struggled with alcohol and drug use. Because of this, the court granted an emergency guardianship and scheduled a custody hearing for March 29th, just 2 days after this video.
Well, we want to make sure that he's safe and know where he is. Who's the friend that you left it with?
I left him with another lady. I don't have her information.
What? You left your son with somebody and you don't even know their name or their phone number? Yo, this is an evil mom, bro. What?
Oh, well, that's not gonna cut it. We gotta figure out where he's at. Where can you tell me the location where somebody could go and check on him and make sure he's okay?
In SeaTac area.
Okay.
Seattle.
More specific?
I don't have an address.
Nothing.
You don't have an address? How do you not remember where you took your son? This lady is such a liar. Such a liar.
How do you know the person how did you pick the person?
She's a longtime friend that I know.
Okay, what's her name?
So what's her name?
Alika. That's all I know. Alika Bone.
Alika Bone? Mm-hmm. Okay.
Huh?
And you've known her?
Her name is Alika Bone?
Okay. But you've known her for a long time? So how did you reach out to her?
So I reached out to her because I needed help.
How did you reach out to her?
I found her number on my old Facebook, but I no longer have a Facebook anymore.
Okay.
Is this something you sign back into?
No.
No, you just deleted it all.
I delete it all the time. So
Yeah. You found it today on your old Facebook? And her name is Alika
Bone.
She just said, I texted her on Facebook today, but I deleted it. Just re-download it. She's...
Gabon, like B-O-N-E? Okay, and she lives in the SeaTac area. So you drove in from the first house you were at to her house, or the doctor first? What?
I gotta
doctor
figure
did
out
you
what
go to?
happens.
Swedish.
What?
Swedish, and that's it.
Swedish where?
Or I think it's Providence, actually. Providence in Everett.
In Everett, Providence.
Okay.
She's
you understand we
lying.
just need to make sure that he's okay, and then
yeah,
we can just do that, and then we can leave you be, you know?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
She's
so how
lying.
do we find Alika?
I don't know.
What?
Can you describe to me how you got there from Providence?
So I just drove from there to Seattle, and then that's it.
You drove from Providence to Seattle to Alika's house?
Yes.
Okay.
So take them to Alika's house. She's beating around the bush.
Did you drive on the freeway or? Okay. How long did it take you to get there?
Why is she smiling?
Like 2 hours.
2 hours. And what car were you driving?
My car. So just like 1 hour or so.
And what kind of car do you have?
I have a Nissan.
Okay. Where's that car now?
I don't have it with me.
Okay.
So.
Where is it?
I left it at her house, and then I came over here on the bus.
This lady's guilty, bro.
After checking the security cameras, police realized Janet had lied. She never took a bus. The footage shows that 3 hours before officers arrived, Janet parked her car at a bar just down the road from the rehab center.
Wow, they caught her on security
About a minute later, she got out of the car and walked straight toward the center.
Pretty expensive ticket. Get a C-Tran bus to come down here?
No, actually, it was only like $30.
Oh, really?
She's lying.
You're not
lying.
You have a longtime friend that you reach out to leave your son with,
son.
who you obviously care about
Of
very
course,
much.
I love him with all my
yes,
heart.
because and you're expressing how upset you are about what's going on between you and your mom and the custody of him and your older son. I think that's horrible. So I know that you're not going to go leave your son with somebody and you don't know where he is.
Yeah, no.
So you do know where he is.
No, I know where he is. I know where he's at.
Tell me where he's at.
I don't have the address for him.
Bro, she's lying.
Okay, how can we find the address for him?
I don't know.
Did you put it in your phone?
No.
To get there? Okay.
How'd you get
Alika,
there?
You know where your son is because you're a mom who loves her son very much and you didn't
I'm not Alika, I'm Jeanette.
I'm sorry, Jeanette.
Yeah.
Alika, you took him somewhere and you're going to go back to him and you know where he is. So tell me where he's at so we can make sure that he's okay or what's going on.
She's just not
So
telling
he's
the...
not, I mean, he's there. He's
Okay,
with her, but
tell
he's
me
not
how
with
to go check on him.
I can give you an address.
Okay, what's the address?
I don't know, you have to write it down.
Okay, I can do that.
The address Janet gave police wasn't even in SeaTac. It was about a 30-minute drive away from that area.
I don't have a phone number for her, but
When he fell, where'd he get hurt?
just he on his head, but he
Oh.
fell on the ground and he hurt himself.
Heads are the worst.
Yeah. I'm just trying to find, I don't even,
How old's your son?
he is 5.
Where did you get that address from? Just now?
From the top of my head.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's where you remember leaving him.
So yeah, Alika, that's her
Okay.
name. So, and if you guys can't find him or whatever, this is where I'm going to be for the next 12 months. But I mean,
They
he's
check
there.
They check in.
How did you guys discuss that you're obviously gonna communicate with him still, you wanna check on him?
Yeah, like, what? She dropped off her son at this Alika girl's house for 12 months?
Right.
And all that, how are you guys gonna communicate?
Well, I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not going to have my. I'm not going to use my phone because
Okay.
I'm going to be here for the next 12 months.
Okay.
So if anything, I don't know what else.
Okay.
That's it.
You didn't discuss that with Alika before you left?
Yes, I discussed it with her. I'm going to be here for 12 months, and then, but before that, like I don't speak to my parents or anything like that because we got into an altercation. So, but this is where I'm going to be.
Well,
They're not asking you where you're gonna be. They're asking you where your son is. They don't care where you live.
Figure out where your son is. Obviously, there was some concerns, and once we
Yeah.
can do that, his injury was pretty bad. Yeah, was there quite a bit of blood and stuff? What did he do?
He jumped from the bed that we were sleeping on to the ground, and then he just got blood on his head, and so I had him taken to the doctor, and so he's doing good.
Okay.
She's lying.
Okay. What did he hit it on?
Just on the ground.
lying.
Okay. How did it start bleeding?
It's just started bleeding.
Can you show me like what side of his head? Do you remember what side of his head it was?
I don't remember exactly what side of the head it was.
How do you
but
not
it's
remember,
starting
bro?
to bleed a little bit.
Yeah. It is. So you don't. What time did it occur today?
Like early, like at 10, 11.
10 or 11. Okay.
She's
what time it
lying,
is
bro.
now?
It's already 6:30, or about to be 7.
So how long were you guys at the hospital?
We were only there for a little bit. I don't even think he got checked. We got there and but I didn't wait enough for him to get checked out. So
So he didn't actually go back and get checked.
What happened to him when he fell?
Nothing. He just cried.
Just cried? Just
Just like, just like, yeah.
Do you want to sit down? I can leave the door open. You can sit right there so you're out of the room.
Oh.
Well, that's scary. He's 4? Okay. Did he vomit or anything? No. Can you describe to me what that Providence looks like? Do you know what road it's on, or what is, did you park in the emergency room parking lot, or? Do you
I don't remember. I don't know.
Or was there a parking garage or anything?
She never went there. She's lying.
Do you remember
bro.
when you walked in? Like, can you describe to me when you walked in what it looked like?
Just the hospital.
But can you describe, like, when you walk in the door, where was the
Nah.
check-in?
In the front, I walked in, as soon as I walked in, the front desk was checked in right there. And I said my son had to be seen for something. And then his name and everything.
Okay.
And that's
You're
it.
going like this, so you wrote it down, or was there like a check-in thing? Or?
There was a check. All right, but I think they checked me in.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you didn't write anything on there. Do you think he needed stitches or anything?
No, he's fine.
Okay, you didn't remember where his injury
Liar.
was?
Liar.
Front, side, back, do you remember?
It's the side. It was the side.
Definitely one of the sides that you recall?
The front, yeah.
Okay.
Huh?
Front, all right. And then you contacted your friend through Facebook?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or I got her information through Facebook.
Oh, okay. And then what information did you get?
Just her number, and then I went to her house and dropped off my kid there, and then now
So
I'm
if
here.
you got her number, it would be in your text messages or your phone call history.
You got like her phone number? Okay. And did you call her from your phone?
From my phone.
Okay, the one that's in your purse there, you called her from?
When Janet was reading a fake address to the officer, she claimed she didn't have any information about Alika's number and had
She said
deleted
she
all her
doesn't have the
phone
number.
records and Facebook. But now, out of nowhere, she suddenly changes her story
Scam.
and finds a number for her in her
Scam.
phone.
Scam.
I don't know if you guys want to call her, but I don't think she's gonna answer anymore.
Why?
Do you remember what your son was wearing today when you took him to the hospital?
Pajamas, blue pajamas.
Pooh? Like Winnie the Pooh?
Just regular blue pajamas.
Oh, blue.
So, if you guys don't, locate my son, what's gonna happen?
Bro, she said, what happens if you don't locate my son? The reason is because I guarantee you this mom, did that to the kid and then dumped him somewhere, and then boom, she's trying to figure out what's going to happen if they don't find him.
That's what we're working on at the moment.
Why do you think they won't be able to locate him?
Yeah.
You got the address to where he
Because
What is she looking at, bro? She just looked at something. Maybe he's buried near over there. I just peeped something.
I don't know. I'm just saying, if you guys are not able to find him, what can happen?
What it's looking like right now is that we're gonna need to stay with you until we find him, because it sounds like you said you know where he is, you know where you left him,
Right.
so it shouldn't be an issue, right? Should be able to locate him. I have another favor though to
Why?
ask.
Yes.
Because it's raining and it's cold and I'm shivering, and we're gonna be with you, I think, for a little bit. Are you listening to me?
Yeah.
We're gonna be with you for a little bit. Would you mind? We have a precinct right up the road. It's comfortable and dry that we can all sit in so we can chat. So we're all out of the rain. Would that be okay?
Where is it?
It's just right down by the fairgrounds.
Yeah,
Okay.
just on 179.
Yeah.
And then we can give you a ride back and all of that if that's okay.
Can I get a coffee from here before we
We
go?
got coffee there.
We have coffee.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah, we got coffee.
We can give you coffee.
You can't grab that seatbelt around your backside. This is
While the male officer drove Janet to the station, the
This lady wants a coffee, but her kid is missing.
female officer stayed behind. She spoke with witnesses and people inside the rehab center, checked the place, and gathered as much information about Janet as she could. It's still
Ooh.
unclear how Janet got from the bar to the rehab center. The road between them has no sidewalks and is usually busy. It's possible that after leaving her car, she hitchhiked her way there.
So yeah, I saw her today, and she looked pretty out of it. I mean, she had her haircut, like Britney Spears kind of thing, went crazy because she used to have like long, big black hair, and told me that her mom was calling because they can't find her son, and her mom went to her house and saw blood. I don't know how dramatic it was, but saw blood I don't know where, but just saw blood, and they can't find her son. And then she's over here, and my brother, where's your son?
Yeah.
He's with my mom, and her mom's calling over here saying he can't find her son. I mean,
Wow, this guy said that he asked her, "Where's your son?" And she said, "Oh, he's with my mom." But she lied because she told the cops the son's with Alika.
I mean, there's a bad connection there. Yeah, I don't know if she's lying, crazy. I don't know. That's the situation from what I know.
Did she seem like from the previous Janet that you knew a couple of years ago? Was it?
Yeah.
Compared to today, how was her behavior?
Drastically different because she was always bubbly and loud and had this big great laugh, you know, kind of really annoying laugh and talking to everybody, and she was just kind of with her hands in her pockets and quiet.
Yeah, she must have done something creepy.
Two. Yeah. Do we know where the other child is?
As far as I know, with her mother.
Okay.
And I think that was the whole dilemma, is they can't find her other son.
Gotcha.
And so her mom
What's gonna happen, bro?
And saw blood and went hysterical, and this is how this all started.
So according to this,
when Maria filed for custody of the kids, she also requested that Janet be placed in rehab and receive psychiatric care. She even asked that Janet's tax refund be redirected so the money could go towards supporting the children. Maria explained all of this in her filing to the court. The officers kept talking to people and searching the area, but they didn't find any clues about where Ariel might be. In the end, officers charged Janet with making false statements after they found her car, but still no sign of Ariel. She was taken to jail. Right around that time, police issued an endangered missing persons advisory in the middle of the night. The next day, March 28, 2024, tragically, officers discovered Ariel's body off Interstate 5. The location where he was found was halfway between Janet's apartment and the rehab center she had gone to, about 75 miles from her apartment. Janet was then charged with first and second-degree murder, as well as assault of a child. When the autopsy results came back, it was revealed that Ariel had been stabbed more than 41 times in different parts of his body. He also had many defensive wounds. Janet pleaded not guilty, and her bail was set at $3 million. The final verdict is still unknown, but if she is convicted, she faces the possibility of life in prison. Yet no ruling will ever undo the pain Ariel, just 4 years old, had to endure. May his soul rest in peace forever.
X, bro. What? That is the worst mom ever, bro.